Hello everyone. Welcome to another exciting episode of Waterdeep Dragon Heist. Lots of fun stuff awaits us today, so without further ado, let us jump into Discord.
Oh, I like Dale.
Ah,
I don't want him to go away.
It's glad to know that you like me and don't want me to go away.
Hooray! Get the weirdest non-contact. So we get the weirdest non-contact stuff when you come back in.
How are we all today?
Brain dead, but good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, we are continuing our Waterdeep Dragon Heist today. And first, before we go anywhere, we have to do the downtime from last session, as we didn't have time to complete it last week. So first of all, we will be doing the income check for Troll Skull Manor first and foremost. And I'm assuming that none of you are going to do your action, are going to spend your downtime actions to support Troll Skull Manor. You have your own things that you wish to do.
Yeah, not this time, unfortunately.
Pretty much.
However,
Not this time, unfortunately.
Mickey McGrood will still be performing, so...
And we have bonuses from the kids.
Yes, you do. So I'm going to roll for Mickey McGrood to see if he works with his performance.
Play well, Mushroom Man.
And I've done it in the wrong chat, because of course I have.
Okay.
Hooray!
Unfortunately, he failed his performance check, so, he forgot to tune his lute this week. And unfortunately, most of the live bands are booked out at this point in the summer because there's a lot of indoor entertaining going on, and so it's basically scraping the bottom of the barrel with the entertainment he's able to book. And it doesn't really draw a crowd. No one's willing to brave the summer heat to come and see who you've got booked at Troll Skull Manor.
I don't really blame them, to be honest.
Bad day for the infighters.
So Lucian will be doing a intimidation check to do security, and he actually passes. So,
oh damn!
He's basically camped himself out in his private booth all through the summer period, just glowering at anyone who comes in.
Hey, you kids! Don't make me come over there.
Don't make me come over there. I want to sit in my booth. If I have to leave my booth, if I have to move that red robe out of the way, you're going to regret ever being born, young man. After he found all Bobbitt's books in there, he's taking this much more seriously than usual, so that is a +5 to the income check. Plus, you'll get an additional +5 this week for solving the fireball incident and having the Growlhund children, and, of course, having your new Mastiff mascot in residence. So who would like to roll the D100 and add 10 to it?
Can I this week?
Go ahead, Remy.
I believe Remy. Go, Remy.
These
roll
ones
well,
we
please.
do in the chat, or can I use my own dice?
You can use your own dice.
That is an 87.
87.
Holy shit! So
wow.
Is that without adding a 10, or is that?
Oh shit! No, that's 97. Sorry.
97.
I forgot to add.
Well.
Business.
People are thirsty. People are thirsty.
Business has been booming during this period, despite Mickey McGrood's setback. So I guess the local fame from solving the fireball incident and bringing the Growlhunts to justice has made you extremely popular the last few weeks. So each player earns a profit of 3d10 times 5, which I will roll for now.
I would just like to say that I used my Call of Cthulhu dice that got me killed. Because they were rolling high. So I was like, you guys can sit over there until I need a high.
So you have each gained 90 GP from the income check.
90, did you say?
Yep.
Yay! 90. Yes.
90, awesome.
Very well.
Solid.
And with the income check out of the way, let us get to the downtime. First, we will go with bowl.
First day, would like to go and sell his leather armor and his gold bar that he
Yes, the
obtained.
gold bar. That's right.
Yes.
So I would like you to please roll, first of all, an investigation check.
Oh, here's my dust. Okay, investigation. Oh, shit. Oh, there goes my lucky roll. That's, investigation is intelligence. That is a 5.
A 5. Yeah.
I was going to say, could I help him? I help him if I go with him?
You can do it with advantage, because you're going to do shopping as well, so...
Yup. Love it helps.
Much better. That is a 21.
Yeah.
Thank
you. You're welcome.
So you head over to Troll Skull Alley, and using your local fame, your fleeting local fame, you try to investigate some of the local shopkeepers and temporary stalls, try to find a good seller. I'd like you to now do a charisma check, please.
Okay, charisma, come on. Lucky roll. That was 18 plus
Ooh,
0, so 18.
lovely.
So that was the best charisma roll I've ever done.
So first of all, you find just on the edge of Troll Skull Manor a small wooden stall with a red and white striped overhang, and there's the wooden table in front of it is just piled with leather work, leather jackets, pants, and the like. And you don't often see this seller. It's a leather worker from elsewhere in Waterdeep, and there isn't any leather workers in Troll Skull Alley. So when this person turns up, their goods tend to sell for a reasonably high price due to the demand. And so, the leather worker is prepared to pay you 15 GP for your leather armor.
Yep. I'll take that without even trying to haggle, because
Yep.
15 for a second hand is pretty bloody good.
Yep, it definitely is. And then, you look around, and as there aren't any other options, you head to the Bent Nail, the local blacksmith and metal worker, and you talk to the brown-skinned hill dwarf in there about the gold bar, and he looks over it and weighs it in his hand, and he says, "Well, I could make some jolly fine gold-plated shields and armor with this." And he's prepared to offer you 250 GP for it.
Bulb accepts without arguing.
Yep, lovely. So 265 GP, a good haul. Finally, you proceed to Fala Lullafear's botanist shop, at the edge of Troll Skull Alley, and you collect the pots of awakening that you ordered from her. While you are visiting her, would you like to purchase anything else?
Yes, I would like to purchase, and they were 40 GP each, were they?
Yes.
Hold on, I need to do some math. What's seconds? I've got a calculator on my phone. 385 divided by 40 equals 9. I would like to buy 8. I would like to place an order for 8 more pots of awakening.
Very well, you will receive those during the next downtime. And
Yep.
she asks kindly that you pay half of it up front. She knows that you're good for it, as you've come and you were able to pay her for the ones you ordered last time, but she has been tricked by some less than savory characters in the past, so she always makes sure to ask for half of the money up front.
I actually changed that to only 6. I overestimated how much that would cost.
Lovely. So, well, that's fine. You can order 6. You just
Yep.
have to pay
So
for
it's-
half of it now?
I'll actually pay for all of it now.
Oh, sure.
So,
She smiles and she very graciously she says, "Well, that's a surprise, and aren't you an eager one, Bulb?"
yes, I have many plans for these, and this is the best deal I can get.
As she puts the coins away in the cash register and rings it in, she breathes deep, you both inhale the earthy smell of her store, and then she says, "I'm interested to know what exactly a member of the Enclave has in store for all these pots of awakening."
It's gotten very exciting lately, and I would like to stop entering places unprepared.
She smiles and she says, "Ah, yes, definitely a wise idea. Well, I may have some work for you if you're willing to open channels between me and the Emerald Enclave in the near future."
Oh, well, I would be very eager to facilitate this.
She smiles once again and she says, "Well, in that case, perhaps any future pots you order may be received for free in return for some honest work."
Bulb's eyes light up, and he agrees wholeheartedly and instantaneously.
Lovely. So, next downtime, you'll be able to do some work, essentially helping her source ingredients that the Emerald Enclave is able to easily acquire that would usually be sold for a very high price on the open market. And in return, she'll be giving you some free pots of awakening. And finally, I believe the last thing you wished to do for your downtime was to pay Melinar a visit at
Yes.
the Falconmere estate and acquire some seeds for the special types of shrub that have been specifically cultivated for the purpose that you want them for, to grow in your pots of awakening.
Yes. So I have 5 pots, and I want to grow 3 of these special shrubs.
Yep.
So yeah, I would like to talk to Melina and order 3 of the more
Exotic?
Exotic
of
shrubs.
more of the exotic shrubs that blend in more than the rest.
Lovely. Melinar raises his shears and he says, "Come, Bulb, help me maintain this topiary bush, and we shall discuss the particulars. Would like you to make a nature check, please."
You've been decent so far. Son of a bitch. That's an 8.
That's an 8. Would you like to spend an inspiration point?
Yes, thank you. Yes,
Go
Please do. Please do. That's why we have them.
and everything so that I would see that, and I'm just
Yeah.
glancing over them. 12.
12? Okay, let me see.
Yeah.
Melinar and you help Melinar maintain some of the estate's plants, to trim off some of the branches and leaves that have wilted in the summer heat. And you discuss the types of shrubs you plan to grow and what exactly you plan to use them for. And you come to an agreement. He will provide these seeds to you for 50 GP each, as they are hard. They do take quite some effort to cultivate. But when you raise the topic of the gas spores you acquired in the Grelhund Villa, he expresses an interest in trading 1 seed for a single spore.
Well, I have 2 here that I don't plan on using, and I was planning on donating these 2 to you, actually, Melinar.
He smiles. He says, "Ah, Bulb, always thinking of preserving these rare species. It's admirable. And, in return, the Enclave shall provide you with the seeds you require. And so,
Thank you.
you may receive 2 seeds for free.
Awesome, and I buy 1 more.
1 more, so you now have 3. You immediately head back to Troll Skull Manor, set up all your pots of awakening on the balcony that is attached to the upper floor that overhangs the street outside, so that they're getting lots of sunlight, but also in the shade from the overhanging roof, so the summer heat doesn't kill them. And you spend the rest of your downtime planting and carefully tending to these shrubs. Over the next...
Just one...
Yep.
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
One last thing before I leave the Emerald Enclave. Do they have, like, initiate robes?
Would you like to buy some? They don't really
Yeah,
They don't really have their own robes. They're druids, and so they just wear, quite basic, unpronounced grey and brown robes. Nothing that displays an insignia or anything like that. Rather...
I just need to buy some basic robes.
Sure. You're a member of the Enclave, and so they provide you with a set of basic grey robes for free. There is no insignia on them, but you reflect that this probably isn't necessary, as for some reason, other people are able to discern members of the Emerald Enclave seemingly just by sight, almost as if there is some sort of blessing or aura that follows them around.
Thank you.
And so you spend the rest of your downtime planting and tending to these shrubs, and over the next 20 days, they begin to grow and grow and grow, and they are almost full size, but not quite yet. Next, we shall move to Narthal. Narthal, what did you want to do for your downtime?
I'm sorry, what? Crap, what did I want to do?
Well, first of all, in the days after...
money.
Well, yes, you do, but in the days after your adventures in Grellhund Manor, the courts of Waterdeep eventually catch up to the fact that you have adopted the 2 Grellhund heirs, and they write you a letter full of legal jargon that when translated over several days using the combined efforts of your city guard knowledge and Sir Lucian's expertise in pompous language, the letter claims that as you are the legal guardian of the children, you are also the legal guardian of their estate, at least until such a time when they become of age and become able to inherit it. As such, the Grellhund Manor is now technically yours, and the Lord's Alliance and the Open Lords of Waterdeep have granted you permission to reside in Grellhund Manor with the children if you wish to raise them in their own home. This also technically gives you control of everything else they own, though using it for any purpose outside of simply watching over it for them would probably require petitioning the Lord's Alliance in a lengthy court process. Just the same, there's probably a few things you can do in Grellhund Manor that wouldn't require much permission. It wouldn't require much effort in the way of getting permission, so what would you like to do?
Well, first I'd like to destroy that demon summoning room.
Ah, yes.
Oh.
So you head upstairs.
Also, a fond farewell to everyone at the Drunken Dwarf.
Ah, yes. But don't worry, you promised to pay them a visit quite regularly. And the children love how your new mastiff, what was his name? Sarge has taken to everybody in the tavern, and how he simply perks up when people come in every day and order food and drink, and he seems to be loving the attention, and so they decide to leave him at the tavern, as you'd easily be able to acquire more dogs for the estate. And so you head up to the parents' master bedroom and into the demon summoning room, and you immediately destroy the summoning circle and attempt to consecrate the room. I'd like you to make a religion check, please.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, okay.
Well, you are a paladin, so presumably you would be somewhat decent at it.
You'd think so, wouldn't you? I don't even have religion. And
That's okay.
Intelligence, so
Well,
that's a flat 13.
13, that'll be enough.
Hey!
You focus more on the Inquisition rather than service to a god, but just the same, your paladin training has given you enough knowledge to consecrate the room, and you turn it into a small shrine to Amam, the giant Allfather, your patron. After all, you are a prince of the Storm Giants, and you grew up and spent all of your life worshipping the Allfather, and you're filled with a sense of comfort as you see a shrine to him with the familiar iconography, and it's right outside your bedroom. And so, when you are, every time you leave Grelhund Manor, after spending some time in the shrine, you will gain advantage on the next skill check you do.
Oh, hot damn.
Is there anything else you'd like to do in Grelhund Manor?
I would like to seal up that book with,
Yes.
very strong defense and strong magical defense.
So for this, you will have to spend 50... Actually, first I'd like you to just make a charisma check.
That's 15 with my charisma. That's 20.
20,
Well,
lovely. So you search around the city, now that you're established in the noble quarter, living in the Grelhund estate. You know there are several local artificers and arcanists that could help seal this book away for you, and you strike up a working relationship with them, and they are able to seal this book away and ensure that it no longer presents a danger, and they can even dispel the curse on it so that it can be read without any risk of summoning any of its guardians for 40 GP.
Nice. Would that fall under the category of spending the house money?
You haven't quite received permission to spend the house money yet, so this is coming out of your own pocket, but if you want next downtime, you could petition for permission to actually spend the house's coffers for the purposes of improving it.
Okay, well that's fine. 40 GP, did you say?
Yep, 40 GP. Finally, I believe you mentioned something about wishing to rent out the stable to any interested parties.
Yes, I did. Yeah, set up the stables as a source of income.
Lovely. So this is quite easy to do. You don't require any permission. The stable is already fit for purpose. Suffered minimal damage last time you were here, and it's ready to accept new occupants. So, I'd like you to make another charisma check, please.
That is a 21.
Lovely. So, with Sir Lucian's help, you draft an ad explaining that the stable is up for rent and that anyone who'd like to rent it out may come and inquire directly with you, and within the next 10 days you actually get a surprising number of applicants. You eventually filter them all down until you find the most promising one, a young halfling woman who wishes to stable a large Clydesdale horse in there. And when you ask her what she uses the horse for, she says this is, she's breeding him up feeding him up to be, well, he used to be an old racehorse, and she inherited him, and, well, she figured he did well during his racing days, and now she just wants to give him a life of luxury, so she essentially just wants to pay you to give him free reign of the stable, go where he wants, and ensure he has a constant supply of food. She will be willing to provide 20 GP per session for this.
25.
25. Make a charisma check with disadvantage, please. Make a persuade check with disadvantage, please.
I have to get up. What's my... Do I have persuade? Perception... Persuasion, I do. Okay. Alright. 15 and a 19. Either way, that's over 20.
She agrees to 25.
Awesome. And also, I would like to restore the greenhouse that got destroyed for bulbs uses if he wants to use them.
Ah, lovely. Well, the greenhouse actually surprisingly didn't take a lot of damage when the gas spores exploded. There's just some residue from the gas all over the walls, and a couple of days of cleaning, and it's right to go. Now, will you be allowing Bulb to use it for free, or will you be asking for some rent?
Oh no, Bulb can use it for free.
Oh, lovely. So there you go, Bulb. The greenhouse at Grelhund Manor is yours, and you may set up there next downtime.
I think I will. Thank you, Nuthel.
No whackers.
Finally, we move to Bobbit. Bobbit, what did you spend your downtime doing?
Well, we'll start with just the first day before we start getting into the meat of things. Yep. Obviously, Bobbit has a few things she collected last time that she needs to sell off, such as the gold bar and the about 30 pounds worth of random silverware and cutlery that
I have no idea where you got.
Yeah,
nope,
exactly
no idea.
Right.
Actually, that's been a question I've been meaning to ask. Does like the plates and anything have like the house, like the Grelhund?
They don't have any markers.
Okay, so that's just very nice. There's good. So I can just go to a regular place and sell it instead of like finding a fan. Thank God, because that would have been awkward
you could just sell
for a 10-year-old to explain. Cool. So obviously I need someone to sell the silverware and then the gold bar as well.
Lovely.
I would also like to inquire in a shield. Maybe not. Well, we'll get to that part later. Because people will probably want to know why. So we'll start with the selling stuff.
All right. So I'd like you to make an investigation check, please.
Investigation +2. That's solid. Let's see what I get. Well, actually, can I get advantage since I'm with
you
Bulb?
can.
Because
Yeah,
technically
that's
I went.
correct. That's correct. Go ahead.
That could be a 14.
A 14. Well, you know that you went to the pawnbroker last time, and the young lady who owns that store seemed to take a liking to you, and so your first instinct is to go back to her again. Make a charisma check, please, and make it with advantage, as she took a liking to you last time.
She knows me?
Yes.
Oh, hell yeah. So charisma... So that's 16 plus... That's going to be a 20 not nat.
Ooh. So, you show her this veritable bounty of fine goods, and her eyes almost pop out of her head as she sees them. As a pawnbroker in Troll Skull Alley, she does not often see riches like this, and she thinks that they will be a fine display piece in the front window of her shop. She is willing to offer you, for the gold bar and the cutlery, 500 gold all up.
Holy, yep, done. Thank you for playing. I'll take that.
She pats Bulb on the brim of her hat as she thanks you for thinking of her before anyone else, and slowly counts out the coins. Is there anything else you were looking to sell? We shall move
Those
to
are
buy.
The two main things. Well, obviously, I was going to say that's as far as now. I can't really go into anything else I want to get until after I reveal what Bob's done with the rest of her downtime, so
Yes.
we'll leave that for another
And
day.
you have already
But as
rolled
far as
your-
buying
Yep.
things, yes, I've done that. But as quickly, just before we go, Bob would like to take a quick stop over at her lovely Dragonborn librarian friend to pick up just a couple more of those inks, just to
yes.
bolster in case he comes across any more scrolls and whatnot in her travels.
As soon as you enter the bookworm's treasure and the small bell chimes, Rashal the Gold Dragonborn looks up at you and his face twists into a beaming smile as you become his favourite new customer recently. And he offers you a friendly discount and will provide you with 3 inkwells for 70 GP. Or 75 GP.
Really? 3 for 75?
Yes.
Well, yeah, okay, let's do that. Let's do that.
He smiles.
No
as he
haggle,
hands
no
them
argument,
over.
just thank you.
He smiles as he hands them over and he says, I have grown fond of seeing your pursuit of knowledge, young Bobbert, and so I figured that I could hand over these few for you for on the cheap. I do have quite a few spares, but please don't get used to it. Unfortunately, I don't have many left.
That's okay. Bobbit appreciates it. Thank you very much, Mr. Bookman.
While you're here, would you like to purchase any scrolls? Or would that wait till next time?
That might have to wait till next time, because I've kind of got the main ones that I want at the
Lovely.
moment.
Finally, a shield. I'd like you to make an You could either just buy a shield for 10 GP, that's its standard price, or you could try an investigate check to see if someone is selling one slightly cheaper, but again, it's only 10 GP.
Will I get anything with a 14 for investigation?
A 14? You find a seller of second-hand weapons and armors, and he's willing to offer you a slightly used shield with a couple of scuff marks and scratches on the front for 5 GP.
Take that simply because she thinks it looks cool.
Well, that
Though
will
she doesn't
increase
really know
your
how to use it
AC
yet,
by
so basically just... Oh, gorgeous.
And then, you spend pretty much the next 20 days...
I was going to say, I'll, if it's okay if I could run the story behind this one.
Go ahead.
Basically, Bobbit, while she wasn't phased at first, upon only hearing that a certain paladin has adopted 2 other children and is now going to live with them, feels slightly dejected, the whole small child, I was here first sort of bit. So when it comes time to remember that we need to update the people at the House of Inspiring Hands, is the official name for the people who've gone. Bobbit not only volunteers to go and tell them of give them an update on what they've been doing, but also at the same time takes them up on their previous offer to train Bobbit, as it were. So basically for the next 20 or so days, Bobbit pretty much spends almost all of her time solely at the temple. So, Bobbit's just not seen around the bar or anything else to that effect. And as such, you guys already know, but the audience would not know, Bobbit, instead of becoming a level 4 warlock, actually takes a level in artificing instead.
Very interesting.
Really
So yes, with their I was gonna say, absolutely, seeing all that fun stuff. Though she does, in amongst her, takes to it like a fish to water, learning stuff much quicker than other people would probably learn, and does spend a little bit of time constantly staring at that certain trinket that they were promised for when they find the Nimblewright.
So,
and
go ahead.
No, I'll let you take over. That was pretty much where I was at.
Yes, so I was just going to say, and so for everyone else, Bobbit is mysteriously absent from the Drunken Dwarf Tavern for the next 20 days. She comes back at night, of course, but you barely see her. As soon as she comes back, she basically heads straight down into the basement and goes to bed and by the crack of dawn, she's already up and left, and you wonder what she's devoting so much of her time to. Until one day, when you're just hanging around the tavern, cleaning up after a lazy summer lunch, scrubbing the tables, cleaning some plates and glasses, and you begin to hear from the street outside a strange sound. The sound of whirring and clanking gears, followed by what sounds like metallic hoof falls on the cobblestone. And you look up, wondering what this sound could be. And as you start to think about going out to check, the door of the tavern opens, and in comes Bobbit, astride a Clockwork Mule. The mule is roughly life-size, the size of a normal mule, but is constructed entirely of clockwork artifice, cogs, levers, springs, sheets of iron and steel. Bobbit has built a saddle right into its back so she can sit astride it, and saddlebags made of metal with hinged lids have been attached to the side of its body. Additionally, as you come closer to have a better look at the Clockwork Mule, you notice that Bobbit has repurposed one of the metal tankards from the tavern as a sort of cup holder, an indentation inserted into the mule's neck. And when you look inside, you see a single large eye staring out towards you. It appears that this is Blinky's compartment. This is where Blinky sits while Bobbit is riding the mule.
Oh, that's great. That is great.
I'd like to say, Bobbit also has, her appearance has changed slightly. Well, her outfit's changed slightly. Like, obviously her hair's a little bit more frantic because she's been spending most of her time just constantly learning this stuff. But most noticeable out of anything would be her staff. Like, you guys would probably remember when she first had missed a stick or a staff. It was a lot, like, basically made for an adult wizard, so basically towered over her. Like, upon noticing it, it's actually a little bit small, like a little bit smaller now, so it's a bit more manageable for her. But more noticeably, apart from the usual, like, eldritch stuff that's, like, you know, carved into it, there's also now some cogs sticking out of the top of it, and the actual tip of it is now metallic instead of just wood. So obviously, it's whatever she's been doing has been having quite an effect on her powers as well.
And as Bobbit shows you the staff, she shows you a little crank sticking out the side of it. And she turns the crank, and the cogs turn, and eventually the staff resets to its normal size. And she says, "Ta-da! I can retract!" And then she turns the crank back the other way, shrinking it back down to a child's size.
Yay!
And so this, Bobbit proudly announces, is the fruits of her training at the Temple of Gond. And what is your Clockwork Mule's name, Bobbit?
Bobbit has proudly, he's actually got a little nameplate on the side of it, but Bobbit has proudly named this, I have to actually get this up because I made sure to do this properly, has named her lovely Clockwork Mule Duncan. That's spelled Duncan. And it's actually an anagram if you actually look closely, because underneath it has a small thing for its full name, which is Donkey United with Nifty Cogs carries, in brackets, acquired knickknacks.
Oh my lord.
Love it. And so that's the downtime all done. So let's move on to today's adventure. It's been roughly 20 days since your adventure in Growlhund Villa. The summer heat wave seems to have subsided, but it is still a Waterdavian summer. It is still a time best spent indoors. And so it's begun as another lazy day in the Drunken Dwarf. You're laid back, So Lucian's in his booth. You're scrubbing the tables, but you're not doing it especially fast, as you don't get a lot of customers on days like this. They're not willing to brave the bright sunlight. And Bulb, as you move into the kitchen to start organizing some of the ingredients, you notice a black cat standing on the windowsill outside, having just jumped up from the alleyway. Do you open the window to let it in?
Quickly open the window to usher it in, because I too have heard the complaints of the neighbours about Blinky.
Yes.
I was going to say, Bobbit hears the cat upstairs. You just hear muffling downstairs. No, you're not eating this one. We can't get in trouble again.
You usher the cat in, and as soon as it enters the kitchen, it looks at you, jerks its head as if indicating for you to follow, and then makes a beeline out into the main tap room of the tavern.
Bulb follows him.
Once it reaches the tap room, it jumps up onto the bar where Bobbit and Ava sit, along with Narthel, who is poring over the blueprint of Grelhund Manor as if thinking of additions he can make. And then the cat opens its mouth, and you hear Malinar's voice begin to speak. We wish for you to investigate a rumor that an aspiring thief has identified a great source of magical energy and is planning a heist. The exact nature of this item is unknown, but the thief, according to the Lord's Alliance, has been meeting with mercenaries at various pubs in the North Ward. Presumably, according to informants, our thief is looking to steal the power crystal of the Perithia Aldenburg Memorial Zoo. As such, we order you to investigate. Normally, we would not interfere with the goings-on of the zoo, as the Enclave finds the nature of a zoo quite abhorrent, but the Lord's Alliance wishes to bring this renowned thief to justice, and, given the nature of the location and its inhabitants, have brought the Enclave aboard so that we may send our own agents to intervene on the Lord Alliance's behalf. The cat tilts its head, opens its mouth, and then says, "Do you have any questions?"
What's a zoo?
How do you talk?
The cat just sort of palms its front paw to its face and says, "You'll see, Bulb. All you should know for now is that a crystal of great magical power resides within the zoo, and that a thief intends to steal this object, and the Lord's Alliance wishes for the Enclave to assist in the protection and recovery of this crystal, the protection and rescue of any inhabitants of the zoo who may come to harm, and the apprehension of the thief himself." The cat looks over at Narthel and says, "Narthel, as an agent of the Lord's Alliance, do you accept the authority of the Emerald's Enclave for this assignment?"
I do not accept.
The cat nods in understanding. It looks over at Sir Lucian, who's in his booth. Sir Lucian stands up and says, "Well, a zoo, I think I'll be sitting this one out. I've got better things to do than to find myself covered in manure and fur and all those..."
Lucian's just lazy.
He looks over and he
I was going to
says,
say, Bobbit has only ever seen you sitting in that booth. This is why Bobbit takes it whenever you're not around.
he shrugs, he says, "Well, it's clean, it's not full of manure or animal piss, and it doesn't smell like feed, so I
It
think
was
I'm
plain to
fine
you
to just
sat
sit
there.
I was gonna say, Bobbit just sort of leans over to Nuthel going, he hasn't found what Blinky left for him under the cushions yet.
I just giggle at the little girl and like sort of give her a little a soft punch on the cheek, like, there you are, kiddo.
So Sir Lucian, despite your protests, seems adamant on sitting this one out. And so you sigh, you leave him in his booth, and you warn him that he'd better hold down the fort, because as he's not coming with you, and Mickey McGrood is nowhere to be seen, having decided to fully devote himself to Volo's new work as its editor, Veska will be accompanying you on this mission. And so, none of the Trollskull Manor's staff are in residence, save for Lucian. And so he sighs, places his face in his hands, and he says, Fine, I shall serve the plebs. Anything to get out of having to spend my day in a blasted zoo. And so, with that, is there anything you would like to do before you head off to the zoo in the North
I still have
Ward?
to sell my gold bar.
Oh, well, you could do that next downtime, because you've devoted your downtime pretty much fully to getting established in the manor, so...
Can I just drop my gold bar off at the house so I have free space?
Oh, yeah,
In case
no, I
there's
assume
something
it would have already been there, so...
Okay, we'll just assume that then.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, Bobbit sort of raised their hand going, if you need someone to look after that gold bar, you could keep it on Duncan.
What do you say to that?
Just eyes gleaming at the gold bar.
Would you like to put it on Bobbit's Clockwork Mule in the conveniently attached saddlebag?
I would, but I'm afraid I would never see it again.
Yes, you're just going to leave it at the house.
Yes.
And so, with your orders having been given, this joint assignment between both your factions, the Emerald Enclave and the Lord's Alliance, you set out to the North Ward, to the Perithia Aldeburgh Memorial Zoo. Sorry, I half sneezed while saying that. And as you approach the zoo, you notice it is on the very edge of the North Ward. Like, on the very, very edge. To the point where the very back of the zoo, the southernmost portion, actually borders adjacent to the City of the Dead, Waterdeep's district-spanning graveyard. And, as you walk down the street towards the zoo, there's a large wooden billboard out the front that proudly exclaims that the zoo was built in dedication to Perithia Aldenburgh, the daughter of a renowned noblewoman who had a quite infectious love and compassion for animals. According to the billboard, her body is buried close nearby in the City of the Dead. So close that her body is almost on the zoo's grounds itself, and perhaps this is the reason for the zoo's rather strange location, wedged right between the main entertainment district and the City of the Dead.
Spooky.
It's a half hour before the zoo is scheduled to open on this lovely summer day, about 10:30 AM. In an instant, the scene goes from ordinary to chaotic. The illusion of a stone wall bearing a sign reading closed, and details of the zoo's operating hours dissolves, showing the ticket window and entrance concealed behind it. At the same instant, a heavy iron portcullis falls with a clang, barring the zoo's main entrance. A cacophony of roars and shrieks steadily grows from within the zoo walls, and from the far end of the complex, a stream of massive winged creatures shoots directly into the sky, dispersing into the blue above. After a moment, A man appears behind the bars, obviously badly wounded. He sees you, and when he sees you, he breathes a sigh of relief, pulls a lever behind the bars, and then a door within the bars swings open. With his last bit of strength, he stumbles outside before collapsing dead in the street, right on the cobblestone.
We don't have to pay to get in.
There are murmurs from some of the passers-by. Not a lot. The zoo was not due to open for another half hour, and the summers are hot enough that people would not line up in the heat. But there are a few passers-by, and watching this scene, they stop and begin to gather around you and the man, quietly murmuring.
Is, like...
He's definitely dead, right?
Yeah, can I do a medicine check to see if he's actually dead?
Go ahead. Do a medicine check, please.
I was going to cast Spare the Dying on him, but if he's actually well and truly gone, then that's kind of a moot point.
That's an 18.
You walk over to the man, you kneel down next to him on the cobblestone and briefly examine him. His heart just appears to have given out, based on the deep cuts and grazes on his body. He took some deep wounds fairly recently and appears to have bled out.
Oh, yeah, so there really isn't anything I can do for him.
It appears that something is afoot within the zoo, and while you were told there was going to be a heist, you weren't expecting anything. You weren't expecting anything like this.
Can I try and examine what exactly wounded him?
Yes, sure. I'd like you to make a survival check, please. With advantage as you pass your medicine check.
That's a nat 20.
There are various tooth marks and claw marks on his body. His clothing and skin are torn in various parts. It appears he has been savaged by a number of different animals. Bears, large cats, perhaps things more fantastical.
These animals don't normally hunt the same prey. What is happening here? And what is a zoo?
You look down at the wounds, and then you look at the sign in front of you. A billboard briefly advertising some of the animals kept within the zoo, and it dawns upon you. It is some sort of public attraction where animals are kept in captivity so that they may be viewed by the public. It's a sort of leisure activity.
Can I see cages and stuff that would hold animals?
You're currently not in the zoo, you're on the street outside, but looking through into the ticket booth, no, you can't.
They keep animals in captivity here for a I don't like this. But I also tell them exactly what I discovered by examining him.
Anyone wish
do we go in?
Yeah, you could head in if you think there's nothing you could do out here.
I don't know. I mean, all we've got is this one bleeding dead guy on the street. Unless you want to disperse the crowd, I don't know what else we got for this.
Nuffle, my friend, it might be best to invoke your authority here and tell everyone to go home and maybe get the town guard.
Yes, if you're trying to stake out this place and catch a would-be thief, it's probably best to not let a crowd gather, so...
Right. Okay, you're probably right, Bob. Just, get into view of everyone. Right! Everyone, fuck off right now!
Make an intimidation check, please.
Language!
What's my...
Like that.
Oh, I've got to get rid of one of my inspiration points.
Which 22.
You display your city guard badge and your Lord's Alliance insignia and you bark, "Move on, clear along, nothing to see here."
That's not what I said.
Yeah,
That's not what he said at all. I believe his exact words were, Fuck off!
in addition to saying fuck off, and the crowd eventually disperses, the murmuring stops, and the crowd move on, continuing about their business. You lift up the body of the man, and you sling him over your shoulder, intending to bring him into the zoo entrance with you so he's out of the street. And as you proceed into the zoo entrance, I would like Bulb, as I'm assuming out of the three of you right now, Bulb has the highest wisdom.
Well, yeah, I have a +4, so.
Yep, I'd like Bulb to do a perception check, please. So you'd have the highest passive perception, so that will trigger your perception check here.
Yep. Say 23.
As you proceed into the zoo entrance, you notice a wooden stand holding dozens of printed and folded pamphlets containing information and maps of the zoo. You stop to pick one up, you unfold it and briefly look at it, and you don't know what to think as you read the opening paragraph of the pamphlet that describes the zoo as being a wonder of magic, a menagerie of wonder, as this is the Sword Coast's only cageless, fenceless zoo. The pamphlet describes that all of the animals within the zoo are kept inside their enclosures by the force of magic alone.
Okay, maybe it's not as bad as I was imagining.
The pamphlet proudly exclaims that unlike previous zoos in Waterdeep, this zoo has the blessing of the Emerald Enclave due to the somewhat more humane methods of captivity for the animals.
Well, that just dispels all fear, all misgivings that Bob has, but he will be asking Melinar about it later.
And suddenly, the reason why the Lord Alliance brought the Enclave in to assist in this operation makes perfect sense to you. Suddenly, as you are about to show the pamphlet to the others, you hear a door open, and you turn and look, and a middle-aged rock gnome seemingly recognizes you as agents of the Lord's Alliance and runs up to greet you. Ah! You must help us! Chaos! Men with swords! Animals running amok! Luckily the fail-safes went into place. The gates materialized and fell as they should. Oh, I bet my manticores have flown clear on out of here. But there's still staff trapped inside. You've got to help them.
Manticores? Ooh, I've always wanted to see manticores. Oh, but you said fly away. Damn.
He looks at you, he says, never mind that. Some of my staff are still trapped in the zoo with the animals running amok. He notices the body slung over Narthel's shoulder, and as Narthel carefully lays the body down on the tiled floor, the gnome bows his head. He says, Alas, I sent poor Rudyard for help, and it appears he was too late.
He got mauled coming from this building to the front fence?
He says, No, he was mauled on the way here. I dressed him up best I could, but then he volunteered to go and get help while I tried to get a handle on getting the fail-safes up and running to try to contain the situation. Oh, I wish I'd just left him here and gone for help myself.
What fail-safes are you talking about?
He says, well, the zoo is... Oh, I see you've got the brochure there. He says, well, as it says, the zoo is powered by magic. Magic keeps all the animals in their appropriate places. Of course, there was a time before this zoo was purchased by the Aldenburg family, back when it was a traditional zoo. All the animals were kept in place by the traditional method of cages, bars, fences. Well, we had them repurposed as a failsafe. In case the magic ever went out, we could activate the failsafe, get some of the fences and enclosures back up, but I fear at this stage most of the animals are already roaming free. Some of them may be contained, but unfortunately, the majority of them still have free reign of the zoo grounds.
Wait, when you say magic, does that include a power crystal? Is that done by a power crystal, by any chance?
His eyes grow wide, and he says, Yes! The basement of the visitor center at the south end of the complex houses the magical field generator. The power crystal down there, well, it must have failed. Oh, glad I had the good mind to keep her back up here. Damned magic. If they'd listened to me all those years ago, if they'd had a nice gnomish contraption put in place. But it always has to be bigger, a greater show. It's a wonder this hasn't happened sooner.
It's because they Bobbit smiles at it and go, No, it didn't fail. You're safe there. Somebody stole it.
He says, Stole it, but the zoo hasn't even opened. Why, someone would have had to climb over the fence and snuck in without us noticing, and he sighs. He says, Of course, that strange order we received last night for cake and victuals, that impromptu party that one of the new recruits decided to throw, that essentially had us all disposed of in the early hours of this morning. He darts behind the counter he emerged from, and then he comes out carrying a large blue crystal that's almost as large as he is. He dumps it on the floor in front of you, and then he reaches into his pocket and hands you a key ring with a single key on it. He says, This is the master key for the zoo. It opens all the doors in the zoo, including the iron gates that now close off this building from the zoo itself. You can set this right. He says, You're agents of the Lord's Alliance, I see. You can go to the visitor center and put the backup crystal in place and restore the zoo to proper functioning.
Take the key and the crystal.
Take the key and the crystal, despite its size, is surprisingly light, only weighing 10 pounds. Is there anything you'd like to ask him, or anything you'd like to do before you move on into the zoo?
What kind of animals can we expect?
He
going
gestures.
forward?
He gestures towards the. He gestures towards the brochures and then the door behind him, and he says, "As you pass out into the zoo, we've got a map, and the map should tell you essentially every animal we've got. But let's see off the top of my head: bears, elephants, rhinos.
Oh my!
The new sea monster exhibit, the manticores, a few other things." He says some of them are dangerous,
Sea monster
some less
exhibit?
so. He says, yes, the sea monster exhibit. Forgive me, I'm only the head keeper. I don't know exactly what animals or creatures are in the new exhibit. But I'm told some of them are quite dangerous.
I'm
Sorry,
gonna go get a map.
sorry, Bulb, what did you say?
So the head keeper doesn't know all the animals.
Yeah, but I had a raise an eyebrow to that one.
Do you wish to
But
raise an
I'm gonna
eyebrow
walk
to
over
him?
and go get a map.
Do you wish to raise an
Yes,
eyebrow?
you say
you
that,
could bring that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bulb
He says-
says, how does the head keeper not know what animals are in each exhibit? You would be the ones telling other keepers what to do. I mean, just going by farms and such, I would assume it's the same system in this, what do you call it? Zoo?
Make a nature check, please.
That is a 22.
He sighs, and he says, "Oh, well, you're right, I suppose." He says, "I used to be the manticore keeper, and when the previous zookeeper, well, I suppose we're supposed to say retired. The answer, of course, is that he was, torn apart by the animals in his charge, and, well, as I'd been here the longest, I got promoted to his position. Essentially, all of the zoo's decisions go through me, but all it really amounts to is me saying yes or no. I mainly still just devote myself to the manticores."
Is there any animals we need to be aware of that could attack us?
He says, "Well, yes, they all seem to be quite enraged. The crystal being removed has disturbed the magic, and it seems to have upset all the animals. So they'll all be dangerous, I suppose. But..." He thinks for a moment, and then he says, "Well, it goes without saying, I suppose, that your safety and the safety of our other staff is the priority, but, well, if you run afoul of any of the beasts..." He fights emotion for a moment, and then regains his composure. Unbuckling a small scabbard on his belt, he offers to Narthel a thick wooden wand engraved with glyphs resembling the faces of various animals. "This will help you rein them in. Just point at the animal and say, onomatopoeia, to talk to them, or say, who's a good boy, to calm them down."
Bob it once, bob it once, bob it once, bob it once, bob it takes.
We call it the Druid
You already have
Wand.
the key in the crystal.
He offered it to Narthel, so I take it.
Well, Narthel's the one who asked
Oh,
him.
God, we're doomed.
We call it the
Well, we're
Druid
doomed.
Wand. He lets out a sardonic laugh. To think once upon a time the Druids were against the idea of a zoo, and now they're providing magical aids to help us run it.
Right. We are obviously going to get into some fights, as I believe not all the animals will react well, even with the device you have given us. We will try not to kill them. I mean, as I am a druid, I will try the hardest not to kill them, and I will try my darndest to keep them alive. However, when we do leave them in our wake, hopefully unconscious and not dead, you will need to be following with any team that you can gather to collect the animals and put them in their rightful place.
He shakes nervously and then he stutters. Yes, of course! Of course! If you can ensure the animals don't get hurt, then we will come and collect them as soon as we can, as soon as the magic is back online, or at the very least the fail-safes are properly in place and the animals secure. If you could ensure the safety of my staff, I will have teams dispatched immediately. He looks over at you. He says, "I can see that you don't have a Lord's Alliance insignia, so you must be a druid from the Emerald Enclave, and so I trust you will know to do the right thing."
Of course. Keeping the animals safe right now is my highest priority.
He sighs and he says, Thank Chantier for that. Even though I care most about my poor manticores, all of these poor creatures, they deserve a chance to, well, let's just say it's not their fault what's happening, you know? Eventually he seems to calm down a little bit, and then he wipes the sweat off his brow. He says, "Well, I suppose if we're going to be working together, I should introduce myself formally." He holds out a hand. He says, "I am the Zoo Master, Emil Andler.
I'm
Neil-
not a hammerful.
What's his last name?
Emil Andler. His last name is
And-
Andler.
Antler.
Andler with a D.
And
So like
and,
handler.
yeah.
So handler without the H.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, cool.
He says, "Oh, thank God you didn't make... Thank Shantae, you didn't make that blasted joke about my name sounding vaguely like Animal Handler." He says, "Yes, well..."
Bob immediately, Bob's eyes widen as she immediately gets the joke. Like, oh, it's funny.
He says, "Well, my parents obviously knew what they wanted from me, and I thought, why disappoint them?" He sits on the edge of the counter behind the, he sits on the edge of the counter in front of the ticket booth. And he says, "Well, I'll wait here for the all clear, and as soon as I receive it, I'll dispatch teams immediately to bring the animals to their enclosures." He says, "That Druid Wand you have there, it should be capable of sending the all clear. Just touch the glyph of the zookeeper up the very top." He points, and you see a glyph of what looks like a humanoid figure. Before you leave into the zoo, would anyone like to actually examine the Druid Wand so you know what you're actually working with?
Well, I'd like to, but I don't have it. So, Nathal, you're smart. You can look at it.
Fine, I'll go examine.
Well, Nathal, you may do an Arcana check to try to identify what it does.
Hey, that's a 19.
Oh, well, you
I
passed.
don't even have
Yeah.
an Arcana.
So this Druid Wand has been enchanted with some basic druidic magic, and it is capable of casting either animal friendship or speak with animals up to 5 times.
Oh, neat.
And if you are a spellcaster, you use your existing spell save DC for those spells. So, any 5 charges between animal friendship and speak with animals, and this probably won't be effective on all creatures in the zoo, but for basic animals, it should be helpful.
Before we leave, Bulb turns to Nathal and, Nathal, I would just like to inform you that you don't need to kill animals to assert that you are the alpha.
Boba just starts
let me put
lifts her
this more
glasses up and starts
clearly.
pitching.
Let me put this more clearly. I like you, Nathal, and I like the help that you give. Do not kill animals if it is possible not to kill them. Knocking them out will be fine.
Oh, it's okay. Okay.
In the background, you just hear Emil sigh, and he says, "Oh dear, I should have specified to the Lord's Alliance. Druids and rangers only." At
Red
this,
smiles good. That's okay. Baba will make sure a big dum-dum doesn't murder anything too much.
and Ava sort of just glares
much.
silently at Nathal.
Trying to be civil about it.
And so, you bid farewell to Emil, and tell him you'll do your best, and you decide to pass into the zoo itself, moving past the ticket booth and through the reception area. Before passing into the zoo itself, you are shunted through a small museum showcasing the zoo's history, that it was founded approximately 150 years ago as a traditional zoo and received quite a bit of blowback from the Emerald Enclave and other druidic circles. It was eventually shut down mere decades after opening and remained abandoned until 50 years ago when it was purchased by the Aldenburgh noble family, who dedicated it in honor of Perithia Aldenburgh and established the magical wards. The museum, reading between the lines, essentially says that the Emerald Enclave still don't particularly like the idea of a zoo, but they feel that without bars and walls, that this one is at the very least much better than the old one. As the buildings in the zoo lack windows and are usually magically lit, the museum is quite dark and you are unable to actually read most of the history, only able to read the basic descriptions of everything from the light of Ava's moon-touched sword. Yep.
I cast Produce Flame onto my hand to make a little bit more light.
Yep. So, with your Produce Flame, in addition to Ava's moon-touched sword, you are able to illuminate this small museum area and actually read some of the placards along the walls. I would like you all to make investigation checks, please.
That's a 14 for Bulb.
Investigation.
Mm.
That's flat 4.
Yeah.
Flat 4.
It's 16 for Bobbit.
I'll roll.
Bobbit likes reading.
I'll roll for Ava, see if it's a group pass or not. Roll. 14. Yep, it's a group pass. So as you pass through this tiny museum, you stop and read some of the stone placards on the walls, and you get a list of all of the animals that the zoo houses. Their places are marked on a map of the zoo that takes up most of the eastern wall. In addition to the traditional collection of zoo animals, lions, tigers, elephants, rhinos, bears, reptiles, birds, and the like, the zoo now permanently houses 2 owlbears, a pride of manticore, some basilisks, some gricks, some basilisks, some gricks, and a chul and some giant crabs in the sea monster exhibit. The center of the zoo houses a gigantic saltwater tank, which is where the so-called sea monsters are placed on display. A magically transparent tunnel allows viewers to walk around the saltwater tank and view the creatures as if they were standing in the water with them.
Does the list specify what the sea creatures are?
A chul and giant crabs.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
The chul is. Giant crab's pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah.
Would our characters actually know what the majority of these are?
You and Ava can attempt nature checks.
I would have read anything, like, in terms of, like, animals from stuff from
Bobbit,
the Emerald Enclave?
Yeah, as a member of the Emerald Enclave, you can do a nature check with disadvantage, because you're not an actual druid or ranger, so you would know less to begin with.
No.
You still know a little bit.
Okay, let's see. So I was doing nature.
Nature with
Bulb
disadvantage.
Bulb got a 12.
I'll roll for Ava.
15.
Basically,
Bobbit got
Okay, so
Bobbit
Ava
got an
failed
8.
hers. Okay, so Bulb, you're the only one who passed. You may learn you may learn about any one of these creatures. Which one would you like to know about?
What was it after you said after the basilisk?
So after the basilisk, so the zoo has owlbears, manticores, basilisks, gricks, and a chul.
Well, if we don't go to this water exhibit, we won't really need to know what a chul is. So I'm gonna ask what a grick is.
So you've read all about gricks. The Enclave, your druid training gave you some basic knowledge on most creatures. And as you read of the gricks, you groan a little bit in consternation, as these are not nice creatures. These are things that most people wouldn't want to run up against. They are essentially giant snakes that have beaks. Their preferred method of attack is to strike their prey with 2 tentacles that emerge from their bodies, wrap their tentacles around them to restrain them, and then peck them with their beaks.
Okay, so it's...
Why would you have this in a residential area?
So it is a restraining animal. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
In addition, you get a good look at the map, and you determine that the visitor center, where the magical field generator is supposedly located, is at the very southern edge of the zoo, touching the wall that borders the City of the Dead. So essentially, the back wall of the visitor center also borders the city graveyard. And from where you are at the northern end of the zoo, there are 3 main paths that lead to the south that you could take. And each of these paths crisscross each other several times, meaning that you could cross between these routes if you want to change which creatures you think you're going to go up against. So, knowing that there are 3 routes and that they crisscross, you are now able to make a more informed decision of how you're going to make your way through the zoo.
Okay, well, I want to try and avoid the basilisks as much as possible. So...
Very well. According to the map, the basilisks are located along the eastern part of the zoo, near the manticore habitat. So you make a mental note of that. Are you ready to exit the museum?
Bulb is, up to the other 2.
Yeah.
Alright. You step out into the zoo proper. As your eyes adjust to the bright outdoor light of this sunny, pleasant summer day, you find yourself in a courtyard more resembling a massive city park than a zoo. Stone paths wind through various habitats, looking unnatural if only for the incongruity. A lush jungle butting up against a sandy desert scene with a small oasis and a long palm tree, for example. Although signage, informational placards, trash barrels, and other amenities are present, what's jarringly absent are the bars and cages one would expect in a zoo. On a normal day, you think visitors would be awed seeing the animals up close, protected only by invisible barriers. Today is not a normal day, as is evidenced by the very friendly camel who walks up to you, Bulb, and begins nosing near your pockets.
I don't have any seeds on me. Is he nuzzling like the rations that I have?
He's just nuzzling against your pockets in general, like just sniffing to see what's there. Butting you with the end of his head softly as he sniffs up and down your cloak.
Okay, I hesitantly scratch his chin because I'm from a jungle and camels are not something that I'm used to seeing.
Make an animal handling check with advantage, please.
I was gonna say, I do have speak with animals, but the ritual, so I'd have to take a bit to buy that one up.
Yeah, if it was something that wasn't just friendly nudging me, I might do something, or ask Snuffle to, but that was a 19. The other roll was a 1.
You reach under the camels.
Oh, actually, hold on.
Yep.
23, sorry, I forgot to add my modifier.
23. You reach under the camel's face and scratch him under the chin, and his droopy lips form into a smile, and he begins sniffing you even more eagerly and makes a very loud grunt.
He likes you.
After you scratch him some more, he eventually stops sniffing you, and he takes a single step backwards, away, no longer nosing up against you, and now just staring.
Does he want something?
Yeah, I don't
want
want
to tell us something.
I don't want to waste a spell slot on the very first animal that we see.
If you
Again, you want to give me 10 minutes.
No, I'll just say,
Well, you do seem to have
I can
10
say-
minutes right now, if you really want to.
Yeah. It's
'Cause
true, but
There
the
are no
longer we
dangerous animals
stay
right here. Yeah, the more the dangerous
Because
animals.
we are trying to also save the staff members.
Yes.
Don't I have 7 charges on the wand?
Yes, you do.
5.
5. Would you like to use one?
Point at him. Hey there, good boy!
The camel looks up at you and says, "Hello there! Finally, so nice to finally be able to see one of you chat visitors up close. Always I see you watching me from this path here, and always I sit there under the palm tree, and you always smell so nice. It smells so much like food, and I always just want to come up and say hello, but I'm not able to.
Can we all hear this or just him?
Just Nathal."
Just.
Oh.
You look at the other guy. He's pompous!
He looks over at Bulb. He says, "I must say, tell your friend, I thank him very much for the nice scratch under the chin. Well, I could tell he's a friend of animals, and so I decided to be frank, I was going to follow you all around until someone decided to actually give me a nice little scratch. You know, I've been trying to itch that place under my chin for weeks now, but, the lack of opposable thumbs and all."
And what is your name? It's a camel, isn't it?
Yes. He says,
What is your name, Mr. Camel?
He says, they call me Musseldorf. It's nice to make your acquaintance, good sir.
I look at Bulb. The camel's name is Mutterdorf, and he says, "Thank you for the scratch under the chin."
I look at Musseldorf and bow my head slightly and say, "You're welcome."
That sounded more like a question.
Much appreciated. He says,
Bulb is not so much an animal druid as a plant druid, and animals kind of... He's
Yeah.
not entirely sure yet.
no, but so basically, this camel always goes, this camel went up to the person with the least charisma. And that was Bulb, so,
Considering the two other players are
yeah.
charisma-based.
Yeah.
And
Both just sitting there going, "That's an even better name than what Bobbit would have picked." Nice to meet you, Mr. Musseldorf.
Musseldorf smiles and he says, "Well, I'm quite satisfied. I'm going to go back to my enclosure and catch a nice nap next to the oasis. Good luck on..."
Mr. Mutterdorf, is there anything you can tell us about the other animals that escaped?
He says, "Well, I did notice that the barriers broke down and a couple of the other animals decided they wanted to make a break for it, but I don't nose into other animals' business. I'm just very friendly at finally having the opportunity to get a nice pat from a visitor."
Mr. Mutterdorf, I think it'd be very nice if you let this small child pat you.
Musseldorf just bows his head in front of Bobbit.
Bobbit hugs. Just very carefully hugs.
"Oh, how nice! Would you look at that? Well, he just laughs as you hug him, unsure of what to say, and then he takes a step back, and he says, well, haven't you just made an old camel's day? Well, if you require anything from me, I shall be in my enclosure. Cheerio!" He turns around and begins to
Is
slowly...
there anything you want me to ask the camel before he runs off?
Oh, yep. Is there anything you want to ask him?
Well, I'm guessing he's not going to know a quick way to the visitor center because he doesn't go outside of his enclosures, so...
Oh, no, ask him if he's seen any basilisks or Greeks.
Basilisks or what?
Or Greeks.
Oh. Mr. Mutterdorf, have you seen any basilisks or Greeks around?
He stops walking back to his enclosure and he looks back at you with his long camel neck. And then you see him visibly shudder and he says, "Oh, those horrible things. I saw some of the basilisks off to the east somewhere. The Gricks, I saw them heading down to the south. If you're smart, you won't go anywhere near them. I'm content to just stay here and mind my own business.
Is there anything else down the south, or is it just them?
He says, well, no, not a whole lot of animals down. Well, there's my enclosure here. He knows this to his enclosure. There's my next door neighbor, the elephant. But aside from that, the only thing to the south is that large, big square building that the humans go into, the aquatic something or other.
The aquatic center?
Yes, that should be it.
Lovely.
Do you know how we can get into the the visitor center?
He says, I'm quite sorry, I can't be of any help. Don't go into any of the human structures.
I think that's all that we can get from Mr. Musadorf.
Yes.
Cheerio, he says as he makes his way back to the small desert oasis.
Thank you, Musadorf. You're very cute and pretty.
And because you befriended him, he will not actually follow you any further. So, if you wanted to be stealthy, you can now be stealthy. You won't have a camel following you.
Oh, neat.
Yay!
That was a spell well
That was
used.
beautiful.
Yes.
That was amazing.
Well done, Nathal.
As you venture into the beast exhibit, the path forks in 3 directions, clearly marked by a large sign. The sign reads West, Owl Bear Enclosure, Great Apes, Cave Bear, Rhinoceros. South, Aquatic Stadium, Camel, Elephant. East, Manticore Habitat, Basilisks, Lions, Tigers. Of the animals listed, you can't help notice the elephant splashing its trunk in a pond a couple feet ahead of you. To the west, you hear howls and screeches and catch a grey streak of a horned animal charging through the habitats. No other animals are immediately apparent in the area or to the east, but you do notice a few of the same winged creatures you saw earlier now circling much higher above in the sky.
Elephant and rhino, elephant and rhino, elephant and rhino.
Well, elephant is south and rhino is west.
Yes.
God damn it!
So as long as it's not east.
Presuming that some of these animals haven't wandered out of their enclosures and are now intermixing.
Yeah, the enclosures are south and west. Bulb is happy to go whatever way as long as we don't go towards the basilisk enclosure.
So the east.
Let's not go there. Go towards the rhinos.
So west. Wish to go west.
Yes.
Right.
As the pet shop boy said, go west.
You begin to head to the west, heading along the path. And soon, as you begin to branch off from the main courtyard and make your way down the western cobblestone path that wends through the zoo, you see what the first enclosure ahead. The cobblestone path branching in two and forming a loop around the enclosure so that visitors can walk around and view the animals within. And here you see some cave bears just sort of lazily roaming around their enclosure. They haven't left it, but they appear to be slightly agitated, perhaps from all the noise coming from the other parts of the zoo. And as you approach, you hear them growling as they patrol the perimeter of their enclosure, sniffing for the source of the disturbance.
Here's my proposal for Bobbit. I will let you have the wand For the rest of the time, just let me talk to the rhinos when we get to them.
Okay.
I hand the one to Bobbit in case he wants to talk to the bears.
So how would you like to approach the bears? Do keep in mind they look, from this distance, they appear to be a little bit agitated. You can talk to them, you can fight them, you may like to simply try to sneak past them.
You said they're sniffing, so sneaking won't really work.
Yeah, that would be...
Well, they'll just get an advantage on their perception check to detect you, because of the keen smell, but...
What way is the wind blowing?
The wind is blowing to the east right now, and you are heading to the west, so...
Is there a map so that I can see what's happening, or is
no,
this
there's
just...
no
we
map.
grabbed them. We did grab them.
There's
okay,
no
alright.
map
Um,
of this specific area, though.
So it's travelling from west to east.
Yes, it's travelling towards you, the wind.
Okay. East, west to east. Okay. So it's travelling towards us. Bulb says to Narful and... Ow! Missy! Narful and Bobbit and Ava and Veska. If we do not want to talk to these clearly agitated bears, I can try and sneak to the other side, drop a couple of rations in the wind, and hopefully they will be attracted to the rations and you can sneak past.
Veska says, I'd rather not fight angry teddy bears, so go ahead. And Ava just nods silently.
Don't call them teddy bears in front of the small child.
Head just starts slowly tilting, going.
No, these are not teddy bears. These are not teddy bears, young child. These are rip your arm off bears.
Sorry I don't have a map because the zoo is
that's
kind
okay.
of like, it's my idea for it is it's just basically a big open area with paths leading through it, so I didn't quite know how to make that as a map, but I did make maps for the individual enclosures in case you get into combat, so...
Yep,
that's cool.
It was just so that I could...
Actually, I'll bring that up so we can visualize you sneaking.
Yeah, I was just asking so I can visualize it, that's all.
Enclosure 1 with bears. So there are 3 bears in the enclosure.
Yes.
And so, Bulb, you see the 3 bears. How would you like to sneak past them?
Seconds, I just got Missy on my lap, and she's being a bit of a bitch. There we go. Stay there.
But they
Okay.
love me.
Yeah.
So you...
I've been patting her the whole time.
You've come
Okay,
from
so-
here. You've come from here, and the wind is
wind-
blowing in this direction.
That way?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's right.
Okay, and...
I can't see that map on
Because you're not part of the... Yeah, try the new link that I posted, because the old one changed.
I see.
You posted a new one.
Yeah, I did. So just, click on the one that's in there, and you'll join.
So the bears are where they are, did you say?
Yes, the bears are where they are. They're just, sniffing around. These 2 are sniffing around this tree here. And the third one is sniffing around the southern portion of the enclosure.
So I would like to try and sneak to the... I'll get out the pointer.
Yep.
I would like to try and sneak up here. And then over to here, and then
Throw
and
some rations.
some rations over here.
Over there, yep.
Oh yeah, maybe into the enclosure actually would be a better
into
idea.
the enclosure, very well. Okay, so, will you be sneaking in your base form, or will you be wild shaping?
Well, if I sneak in my base form, I can then use wild shape into a type of bear. Is a cave bear? What CR is a cave bear? So I know this is kind of metagaming.
Cave bear is CR3, so you can't become a cave bear.
I can't,
but
I could become a black bear.
Yes.
Yeah, if you wild shape, you could talk to the bears.
Yeah, but I don't know if cave bears like black bears.
You don't know.
It would be a last ditch attempt to distract them while you guys
Ava
Snuck
helpfully
around.
informs you as a ranger that she knows that cave bears and black bears do live in different habitats and don't often mix in the wild.
Doesn't necessarily mean that they're angry to each other. So yeah, I would like to try and sneak up in my base form.
Yep.
I tell the others that when I come back round, we can sneak down south, or if you see me transform into a black bear, sneak around without me.
Sure. I'd like you to make a dex check, please.
Missy.
Oh, sorry, a stealth check.
Either way, that's a 9.
9.
Which isn't good.
Very well. So you
Oh.
attempt to sneak.
Actually, I'll use an inspiration point.
Up, go ahead. Roll again.
Missy, can you not do that right next to me? That's the 7. That was worse.
Oh,
Would you like to take the
Oh
9?
god.
If you'll let me use
I'll let
the
you
9
have the
instead,
9.
yes.
Ava offers to assist you. Sneaking along with you.
I'll definitely take that. So is that with advantage, or does she does her own?
With,
do her own stuff?
with advantage.
Okay. Different dice. That's a 10.
Alright, so you and Ava both attempt
Take
to
the 10.
sneak along the north side of the enclosure, passing the large open field, warily eyeing the bears as they sniff around, agitated. The bears are going to make a roll to see if they detect you now. So their perception is +3, and they get advantage.
Oh god.
dude.
I also have a new spell that would have got me out of here, so...
Luckily, they rolled quite low, 7 and 6. And so, the bears appear to be distracted by the loud disturbances from the nearby parts of the zoo, and they do not detect you and Ava as you sneak past them. And so, you grab one of your rations out of your pack, and I'd like you to make a ranged attack roll, please. To
So that's
throw it,
dexterity?
yep, to throw it into the spot that you're going for. It will be a 12 to hit. You need to beat 12 to get the rations safely into here and not throw them too short or too far.
Okay, so I would have liked this roll when I was rolling stealth. That's a 19.
Oh, that's fine.
Of course.
Reach into your pack for some rations and hurl them over the fence. They land in a patch of tall grass with a thump. The bears hear the noise and they begin to sniff, slowly being drawn to that location. And now, with Ava's help, make another stealth check, please, to make your way back to the party.
Better, that's an 18.
Lovely, you're fine.
That's much better.
Hey.
You make your way back to the party and tell them that the bears are safely distracted. And so everyone walks around the southern side of the enclosure, far away from the bears, and you safely bypass them. As you walk
Hooray.
past, Veska just peers into the enclosure, notices the bears tearing apart the paper wrapping of the rations, just shudders audibly. She looks over at Bowl, but she says, good thing you have a head on your shoulders, like some.
I'd just like to clarify that next time I ask for CR, because I just realised how metagamey it is.
Yep.
Just answer if
Can
I
you
can, if they're
transform
under
into it?
half.
Yeah.
Under a half. Yep.
You continue
Excellent.
moving on along the west path, leaving the bear enclosure long behind. And the path begins to wend past an enclosure that looks kind of like a desert savanna, lined with a row of gnarled jungle trees that almost hang over onto the cobblestone path. And as you approach these trees, you hear rustling in the branches, and then suddenly you are pelted with a hail of rocks that come flying out of the tree. I'd like you all to make deck saves, please.
Sure can, Bobby.
Let's see. I remember mine.
19.
Plus 18.
Fisherman's plus 3. Yeah.
Now I'm doing well with my fucking dex shit. God damn it.
Yeah,
14.
Alright,
14.
Ava and Veska. Okay, that is a fail for Veska, but a pass for Ava.
Oh.
Okay,
Veska.
you see the rocks coming and you duck. They sail over your head. Veska ducks a moment too late. She is pelted with a single rock and takes 4 points of damage. And then as she shouts in pain, you see something else flung from the trees towards her. A brown hunk of manure. It sails through the air and it hits her in the face, making a loud squish.
Oh.
You look up into the trees and you see 3 large apes standing in the branches, beating their chests and laughing with glee as they reach for more rocks to pelt you with.
Unless Bobbit would like to talk to them, I can try and wild shape.
Just say, do we want to talk to these ones? If they're just going to throw shit at us?
Or we could just run, I guess.
Yeah, you could just run. You could just run and hope they don't chase you. They just seem to be pelting past things that pass by with rocks, like, just for fun, so they don't seem to actually be out to hurt you seriously.
Well, Bob would
So
just
do I
like
try
to
talking
keep
to him?
walking.
You just want to keep walking?
Alright, well,
The apes
keep moving. I was
continue
going to say,
beating-
as we go, Bobbit goes over to Veska and casts one of her new artificer cantrips of prestidigitation. Wait, did I take prestidigitation?
Yeah,
Shit, I thought I did.
Yeah, you didn't take it? Okay, well,
Yeah.
You look
Well,
over...
I did. I meant to add that. Well, yeah, I did. So use prestidigitation to basically wipe the literal crap off of her.
As soon as her face is clear again, she coughs and splutters loudly. Oh, that was the worst experience of my life, and I was held captive by the Xanathar Guild.
Yay, Bobbit helped.
The apes continue beating their chests. They reach for more rocks, and one of them grabs a hunk of manure, and they pelt them at you as you run as fast as you can past them. Make dex saves again, please.
That is a 16.
16,
I got a 7.
7,
19.
19. Okay, I'll roll for Ava and Veska again.
After I take this damage,
Yep.
could I cast Druidcraft to create a odor of a skunk near them?
You could.
I was just going
but
to
first-
go for intimidation.
Yeah, that could work too.
That
So
could
they
work too,
pelt-
that could work too.
They pelt you with rocks, and this time as you're running past them, they're closer to you, and Bulb and Ava are both hit and take 1 point of damage.
1 point of fecal matter damage.
You continue
it's just a
running,
rock.
and
Oh.
you continue running, the apes continue hurling, and that's when Nargle, as the person who got the lowest score, you see something brown hurling towards you, and then before you have a chance to react, something hits you in the face for 1 point of damage. Your vision is blocked, and a terrible smell fills your nostrils. The apes rowdily cheer.
At this point, I'm just clean the shit off my eyes so I can see them first. Just look at them, start beating my chest.
Make an intimidation check with disadvantage, please, because you are covered in shit now.
Covered in shite. What's my intimidation plus 7? That is a 17.
With disadvantage, okay.
Yep.
You beat your chest and you shout, "Ah! Ah!" The apes stop, about to release their latest barrage of rocks. They stop with their arms still in the air. And then one of the apes points at you and goes, "Ah! Ah!" And then he leaps off the tree and on all fours begins barreling away into the savannah. The other two apes look at him running away. Then they look back at you. And then they drop their rocks, falling uselessly into the grass below, and then climb down off the trees and run after their friend.
Do I have anything that I can clean myself off?
You just have... Bobbit
Bobbitt's
could,
a prestidigitation
yeah.
you.
Bobbit could use prestidigitation to clean it if he wants. If
Is
she
that
wants.
a cantrip or
Yeah, it's a
spell?
cantrip.
As far as I
Okay.
know, it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you could, my friend.
Bob looks over at Nathal and goes,
And
5.
goes,
Fire your
Holds
Bobbit
out her
is
hand and
charging
literally
you.
holds out her hand and says 5.
5 gold to clean the poo off your face. Do you accept, Nathal?
I thought Remy was doing it.
No,
actually,
Bobbit.
Bob-
Oh, sorry,
Bobbit-
Bobbit's
No,
doing
Bobbit
it.
has
Oh.
Yeah, Bobbit has it.
I am not going to be distorted by a small child. Leave
Yep.
this shit
Yeah.
on them.
You refuse to let a small child extort you. You just see Veska. You just see Veska next to Bobbit, shaking her head and going. And
Why? I dropped yours off for free. Why are you complaining?
Bobbit carves Druidcraft to make a nice smell around him.
yeah, nice smell. Yeah, to ward off the poo from Nathal's face, and then you
I
just
just realised
Then
that I
you
could have
guys
used
walk up and just-
Druidcraft instead of a ration.
yeah, you could have. That would have worked.
Holy.
Yeah.
I was
Nathal
going to say, Bobbit just,
Nathal does his
Hey, Bob's just
best
a-
to wipe
a high
the
five
manure
blinky.
off his.
Mhm.
Bobbit does his best to wipe the manure off his face, and as he does it, he just thinks of Sir Lucian sitting back at the tavern in his booth.
Nathal does.
Yeah, and you continue on past the savannah, and as you reach the end of the savannah enclosure, you begin to hear in the distance the sound of heavy, swift footfalls, as if some sort of creature is charging along the cobblestone path ahead of you. I'd like you all to make perception checks, please.
Sure can. That's a 16.
Look at these.
Perception.
15 for Bob.
I rolled a nat 20. I got a nat 20 with a 0 for perception. I'll take that.
Just like me rolling the Arcana check.
Towards the end of the western path, a single crazed rhinoceros is charging from about the northwest corner of the savannah to the tip of the owlbear enclosure. It seems to be at the same time very excited and very confused by the chaos that is unfolding in the zoo. Not knowing what else to do, it seems to be running back and forth on what is already beginning to look like a worn patch of ground. It hasn't yet noticed you.
I need to talk to the rhino. I need to
Bobbit
talk
just
to
immediately Bobbit immediately hands the wand over to Nathal, going, "Yep, here you go, have fun, poop head," and just walks off.
Okay.
What do you approach the...
Yes, I do.
You do approach it, okay. As you
That'll be interesting.
draw nearer to the rhino, so you all going with him? Or just letting
Follow,
Nathal...
but at a distance.
Alright.
Yeah.
So Nathal's ahead of you, and he's just walking down the cobblestone path towards the rhino, still running back and forth on this trampled patch of ground. And as Nathal draws closer, eventually the rhino stops. It raises its head, looks up, and it sees Nathal there, and then it inhales deeply and charges towards Nathal. And Nathal, it's going to get off a gore attack on you before you have a chance to use the wand. Because you...
And I don't have a chance to try to dodge?
Well, I'm going to do it as a combat. The dodging is going to be whether it can pass your AC.
Oh, okay, yep.
The rhino rushes towards you as you raise the wand. You didn't prepare a reaction, so it gets an attack off. And here it comes. It gets +7 to hit. Wow. So it's just going to get one attack, thankfully. And that's a 14. You see it coming a mile away, and as it charges towards you, its footsteps pounding along the cobblestone path, you simply step out of the way. It charges past you, reaches where you once were, and swings its tusk into the air, attempting to gore nothing. It takes a second for the rhinoceros to realize that you're not there. Then it stops. It stands
Easy
there,
now,
stamping,
you big dickhead.
stamping its front feet, and it turns its head towards you. Do you use a Speak with Animals spell?
Yeah, I use the wand.
You point the wand at it and press the glyph, activating the wand. The rhinoceros's eyes grow widened, and he looks at you, and he says, "You look fun to charge! Stay there where you are!" And he begins stamping his front feet, preparing for another charge.
That's funny, I could have said the same to you! And I want to meet his intimidation thing with my own.
Make an
trying to
intimidation
fuck with
check. Make an intimidation check, please.
That is a non-nat 20.
You start stamping your own feet and just growling at him, bearing your axe. The rhino stamps his front feet even further, and he shouts, "I like you! What enclosure are you from?"
I'm not from any enclosure. I am not an animal. I am a free man.
He says, "We shall be free men together." He looks towards.
Aye!
He looks towards the enclosure at the end of the path, just pointing his head towards it. He says, "I was gonna charge the owlbears, but I didn't think I could do it alone. Let's charge them together!"
No. Even
Make-
I know that's a bad idea.
Make a persuasion check, please.
No.
Oh no. Oh no.
This.
Wait, hold on, wait. 14.
Now this all goes to shit. Oh.
The rhino stops stamping his feet. He lowers his head. He says, "Oh, I thought you were cool, man."
God damn it, don't pull that shit on me. And how many owlbears are there?
He says,
We don't know.
"2, and they're cubs. He says, cubs I could handle on my own.
Oh,
Was the parents I was afraid about."
no. I've killed one too many owlbears in Baldur's Gate 3. I'm not killing another cub.
He raises his head, and he says, "Well, Mr. Wannabe Cool Man, mind telling me your name?"
Wanna be cool? I'm sorry, what? Wanna be cool, man?
No, we're fighting fucking owlbears.
So Bob's just sitting here going, just sitting there like munching on a ration about going, "So, this is weird."
Well, it looks like I'm punching an owlbear in the face.
Well, I mean, you can do, if you do that, you're going on your, oh wait, no, we need the fucking wand.
Fucking doesn't.
No, I'm not gonna punch.
Actually, you know what, nah, I'm good.
Keep
No,
in mind,
you go right
as,
ahead, we'll
as
stay here.
all of the paths do interlock, you don't have to necessarily fight the owlbears. You can swap to another path and move past either the manticore enclosure or the aquatic stadium.
Oh god, all of those are bad.
Wait, didn't the manticores fly away?
You were told that.
Yeah, but I'm sure
Something flew away.
we know for a fact. Yeah, they
something flew
keep
away.
saying that there's something flying overhead, and I'm pretty damn sure if we start stepping on their turf, they will probably come back. But that's just out of character. Bobbit has no idea what the hell is going on right now.
At this
just
point,
watching
we are.
He's just watching Knuckles half covered in shit, having a fucking yelling contest with a rhino and seemingly losing.
The rhino stamps his feet impatiently and stabs the air with his tusk. And he says, "Come on, I'm Ramby. What's your name?"
The name is Prince Narthal Hammerfall.
He says, "Prince Schmintz, you have no horn. You are worth nothing, but you can prove yourself if we charge together."
Can I wrestle the rhino?
This dinner's fucking owning you.
You can try.
Oh, I'll be right. I'll be back in a second.
If you'd like to wrestle him, I'd like you to make an athletics check, please.
Can do. Because I don't exactly want to kill a baby owlbear.
Well, you can just knock it unconscious.
Yeah, but I still don't want to punch an owlbear in the face. Athletics, you said?
Yep.
Oh, thank God, that's a +7. That is a 19.
Okay, the rhino gets 21.
Oh,
You reach
shit.
forward, grabbing the rhino and attempting
Wait.
Yep.
Can I use an inspiration
You
point?
can. Go ahead. Roll again.
Okay.
We could intimidate the cubs and just beat the parents
It's
to
okay.
unconsciousness.
It's okay. I got a 17 plus my 7.
Yep,
that's
so you
24.
were fine. You wrestle the rhino, grabbing him by the horn and glaring in his face as you both try to move each other on the path, neither of you moving. Eventually, you get on top of the rhino, force him down onto the ground, and then as he lies on his side, you sit on him. He struggles beneath you and he says, Okay, you've made your point. You don't need a horn to be strong.
I could have told you that. If you want something to charge, we've possibly got some people coming up if you want to come with us.
He says, Fine, but why not the owlbears?
Would you something weak or something worth your time?
He says, Good point. Very well. I shall follow you, my friend, and we shall charge something
And
worthwhile together.
What is your name, my majestic fellow?
Ramby!
Ramby.
Amazing. This is fucking amazing. I'm so sad that M2 had to go somewhere.
Oh, what the fuck did I miss?
And
What
the-
did I miss?
And the
rhino's
kitty
name is
missed
Randy.
out.
I know, I got the name, he said it before. Quick question, do I have time while all of this bullshit's going on that I can do my ritual to speak with animals? Just while
Yes,
this
you
he's
can.
been doing
You
this
can.
whole
While
arguing
he's
match?
wrestling and arguing with
Yeah.
the
So
rhino.
while everyone else is just staring in awe of Narfel just arguing and wrestling with a rhino, Bobbitt's just gotten bored of the show and is just drawing stuff in the dirt as she's like preparing this ritual spell.
Oh, Kitty, you should have been here 10
Randy.
minutes ago.
Yeah, kitty. Also welcome.
Oh, she's
Also,
here.
hello,
Welcome,
Kitty.
Kitty. Hello, Kitty. We're pressing our way through the zoo. The Emerald Enclave has sent you guys to stop someone. Well, the Lord's Alliance wants to apprehend a thief who wants to steal the power crystal that generates the magical fields in the zoo that keep the animals in place, and they've tapped the Emerald Enclave to assist because it's a zoo. So this is a joint mission between the Lord's Alliance and the Emerald Enclave. You've arrived at the zoo. The magical fields are all down, meaning the power crystal's been removed. You're just trying to get to the visitors center in the south, and you've already passed several normal animals. Narthal has just won an argument with a rhino. Ramby the rhino says, Very well. I shall follow you, friend, until I can charge no more and decide to go to sleep.
I hop on Ramby's back.
You hop on his back, you're gonna ride him. Very well.
I'm gonna mount him.
I will allow you to mount Ramby for this session, or until you get to the visitor's center at any rate.
Yep.
And so, knowing that the owlbear enclosure is just ahead, a kitty link for owlbear rodeos in Milo's Lucky Dice. Knowing that the owlbear enclosure is just ahead, you may continue on your current path, or you may turn either to the east or to the south and continue along one of the other paths, which will bring you past either the manticore enclosure or the aquatic exhibit, respectively.
I've had my fun. I've talked to the rhino. The only thing we need to do is talk to the elephants. Then I'm fine with whatever.
That's if we come across them, I guess.
Yeah.
Now, Ava and Bulb know
owlbears, manticores, or bloody...
Yeah. But Ava and Bulb, you guys are aware as a ranger and a druid that of these creatures, chouls, manticores, and owlbears, that simple druidic magic such as speak to animals and befriend animals will not work on these monstrosities.
I asked what chouls were. Okay.
That's the worst of a damn ritual spelling.
Oh, you'll probably be encountering more animals.
Oh well.
Just not
10
these.
minutes.
Yeah.
So, the next animals that we meet.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, actually.
Yeah.
Because you probably will meet
Yay.
another animal. If you switch paths, you probably will meet another animal on the way.
Yeah, well, we're not going to the owlbears.
Alright, so you don't want the owlbears, so knowing that your alternatives are the manticore enclosure and the sea monster exhibit, what would you like to do?
Christ. I'm voting for the chouls because I want to know what the fuck they are.
Right? So
That's
Bold
my
wants
reasoning.
to head to
So
the
you killed
south.
the cat, all that. Yeah, for the...
Bobbit,
As
what
long
are
as we
you-
don't go in like the actual tunnel part that's like near the enclosure, because I'm
Yeah.
half expecting.
Well, there's a
As long
tunnel
as we
that
don't go
moves.
near like the part that's being
Yeah, there's a
support-
tunnel that
heating
moves.
the water up by magic.
Yeah, there's a tunnel that moves through the enclosure, like an aquarium tunnel, and then there's a path that just heads around the enclosure and allows you to look down into the water. So that'd probably be the safer way to go.
Yeah, go on the top thing because even if we do get attacked, we may have advantage the first round.
All right, so
Because
you
we're firing down.
wish to head along
Yeah.
the south path.
Yes, to the water enclosure, yes.
All right. You do not wish to face owlbears, and so Narthel, riding the rhino, you verge off the western
In a Ramby.
path and begin to head towards the large stadium you can see to the south, the Aquatic Center. And as you walk down the southern path, you see a large structure to the south, painted with hills and sky, providing an oddly false backdrop to the realistic jungle habitat directly ahead. An elephant stands on the edge of a pool of water, splashing and playing, occasionally cooling itself with spray of water from its trunk. What do you do?
Does it notice us?
Nope, not yet, but it will
Or is
as
it
you move
busy
closer.
with its own stuff?
It's just standing at the edge of a pool of water, splashing and playing.
You still have talk of animals up if it's been less than 10 minutes, so...
Yes, it
I
has
do
been.
indeed.
Talk with the
I
elephant.
imagine it has been.
Oh,
Alright,
the
but just,
elephant.
yeah,
Bobbit
sort of cup
wishes-
their hand to their mouth and go, "Hello, Mr. Elephant!"
The
Just starts
elephant,
waving at it.
the elephant looks up, and you notice that even while splashing in its pond, it has its eye on you, watching you carefully. It doesn't say anything.
How rude.
Aw.
Can I do a nature check to see what that reaction might mean?
Ah, yes, go ahead.
That's an 8.
The elephant, not straying from the pond in its enclosure, appears to be scared. It's wary, it's watching you cautiously, not sure if you are a friend or foe.
animal in a zoo full of magical animals that have now been set loose. So,
Yeah.
yeah, that's a reasonable reaction from an elephant.
Yeah, fair enough. I was going to say, do you tell Bobbit this? Because Bobbit at this point's
yes.
just
I tell
waving at it.
Maybe, child,
Oh.
a quieter approach and assure it that you are not any danger.
Okay. Will it be able to hear me from back here?
Big ears, you may as well try.
It's got big ears.
Worth a shot. Just, yeah. So tries again a little bit quieter and less excited this time, going, "It's okay. We're not here to. We're not doing bad things. We're trying to fix the zoo. But you don't have to be scared of us. See, we already made friends." And just points over to the rhino.
The elephant looks over at the rhino and then it raises its trunk, sprays water in your direction, a spout of water that splashes in front of the rhino. He jumps out of the way and he says, "Ha! Is that a challenge? I'll let you know my horn may not be as big as yours, but I can charge just as fast." The elephant looks up and opens its mouth and says, "How rude! Well, I never! How dare you bring that buffoon into my home?"
Are we in the elephant exhibit? No.
Bobbit, sorry. Bobbit didn't. I was going to say, Bobbit didn't know that you and the rhino didn't get along. We're sorry.
It's okay, just don't bring him any closer. I don't want to have to chase you all away like I've been doing all day to those bloody monkeys and bears.
We found the bears and the monkeys before. Nathal really liked them, didn't you, Nathal?
Nathal, still with a face full of manure, just growls through gritted teeth.
That's right, Kitty. Nathal got a face full of monkey manure.
I got shit in
Yeah,
my
from
face.
the
Technically, both Vesker. I was going to say
Ava,
both Vesker and
got
Nathal
hit for,
popped crap
Ava
in the
got hit
face.
for 1 point of damage because a monkey threw a rock at her, but aside from that, she's fine. The elephant just stares at you. She
Yeah,
lowers her
Vesker
tongue.
and Nathal both got the crap thrown at them.
She lowers her trunk into the pond and starts to breathe in some water. She looks over to you and says, "So long as you stay right there, I shall entertain you with a conversation. So long as you don't want to talk about anything too unsophisticated."
Because an elephant never forgets.
Yes.
I was going to say, Bobbit just muttered quietly to herself,
Bobbit is so glad she figured out what that word meant. Okay, Bobbit's been learning new stuff lately. What would you like to talk about?
She says, "Well, first of all, I'd like to know what has befallen this place. Why, you know, I liked how the zoo was before. Everyone in their place, each to his or her own, none of this intermingling." She visibly shudders.
Somebody broke one of the things in the park system, so all the animal enclosures are broken at the moment. We're trying to fix them so everything can go back to how they used to be.
She says, "Oh, well, you want the visitor center to the south? I've always wanted to go in there, but, I can't fit through the door. But I've heard humans tell there's a gift shop. And, an elephant never forgets. So just the one time I would have liked to have gazed upon the wonders within."
But do you like Bobbit to bring you back something?
She says, "Oh, don't bother yourself. One day I shall find my way. For now, I think you have more pressing matters to attend to. Just, on your way back, do tell me if there was anything interesting inside. That would be such a fantastic topic among the zoo gossip mill." I'll be the talk of the town zoo, so to speak.
Can do that. We'll make sure she checks everything that's inside. What is your name, by the way? But it would be rude not to ask.
My name is Lady Ivory Hair. And don't
Milky
you forget
ivory
it.
Hair?
I would never forget your name, which is...
Bobbitt's name is Bobbert.
She says, very well, Bobbert, I've committed it to memory, and make sure you do me the same courtesy.
What was it? Ivory milk? What was it?
Ivory Hair.
Ivory Hair.
She
Lady
then...
Oh,
Ivory Hair.
Lady Ivory
Lady
Hair.
Ivory Hair.
Lady
There you
Ivory
go.
Hair...
Bobbitt's just like straining to not... Bobbit is just trying but Bobbitt's just using like all of her inner focus to not come up with a nickname for her, because she'll get upset if he does.
Lady Ivory Hair points her trunk towards the square building to the south and says, just be careful going through there, my dear Bobbit. I've seen many cows, sheep, and pigs led in there, only to never come out over the last few months. If you must head through, don't take the middle path, head around the side. I see many humans go around the side, and never before have I seen them run afoul of anything nasty.
Thank you, my lady. We shall do so. It was an honor to meet you.
She nods, and then she says, now get that big buffoon there, she gestures towards Ramby and Nathal, out of my enclosure, and move on. Ramby pounds the ground with his front foot and he says, well, I don't need your stinky enclosure. Not even ground, not good enough for charging, see? And he just runs ahead with Nathal astride him. So do you move on? Stay on this
it's gonna
path?
be a long day. I want to see the gift shop now.
When the Lady Ivory Hair said go around, is that leading past the owlbear and
It's leading...
manticore enclosures?
Yeah, she's basically pointing you towards the aquatic center and telling you to take the outside path instead of going through the aquarium tunnel.
Ah, yep. Okay, yep, okay.
Going through the middle.
You follow
Yeah,
the elephant's directions.
Bobbit bids a fond farewell.
You say a fond farewell to the elephant, then you continue down the southern path, following her directions. And as you approach the complex, you notice two signs. One reads, now showing Shul, and bears an illustration of a creature with two massive crab-like claws, standing on four hind legs. The other is painted bright red and says in large letters, warning, for the safety of our visitors, all outside magic, including items imbued with magic, are prohibited. The Aquatic Stadium consists of a massive saltwater tank. With the fields down, the water has exited the tank and spilled all over the path, so the tank itself is empty of water. There's a tunnel that leads right through the middle of the tank, and two raised paths on either side of it that allow you to walk around and have a view down of what's inside the tank. From here, you can see inside the tank is filled with rocks and pieces of dead wood, and you can see some movement in the tank, but as it's down below you and filled with large rocks, you can't see any creatures within clearly. What would you like to do?
Can we try and stealth past?
Even before the water was gone.
You can try to stealth past.
We're not in the water, are we? No, we're
No,
above
the
it.
water has spilled, like it's literally just scattered puddles over the cobblestone.
Okay, and what you described, we see that was just...
Yeah.
a quick glance, it's not us actually
it's not actually
investigating?
You're not right up at the tank. You're just seeing it ahead of you at the end of the path, and you can see every now and then a little flicker of movement in amongst the rocks and sand down in the enclosure, but you're not close enough to actually see what's in it. So you can pass right through the middle of the enclosure.
No.
Of course, the fields are down, so then the elephant warned you not to. You can try to move along the outside using one of the upper paths, maybe through stealth.
Yeah, Bulb would like to try and stealth around the upper path, but that being said, I don't think a rhinoceros is going to be very
stealthy. Well, how about Narthel and the rhino can head through the middle?
Yes!
And he can take all the heat while I just walk past and run away. Sounds good!
Yeah,
And yes, Ava, you may go into an aerial view if you like. So,
Bobbitt's gonna follow the elephant, boys.
Ava spreads her wings and takes to the sky. I would like Ava to do a perception check, please.
While Ava was doing that, I'll be right back. I'm just letting Missy in.
Yep, so Ava, go ahead and do a perception check. 16, okay. You fly up in the air, Ava, and you're able to get a good look at the tank from here. I'll just put you up on the side so you can get a good look. And you are able to see within the tank is one large, vaguely humanoid creature with large crab-like pincers. This must be the Chul, and it is barking orders in some incomprehensible language to 5 giant crabs that are scuttling throughout the dried-out tank.
How long's it been since I cast Speak with Animals?
It's now expired.
Also, there was a sign saying that Speak with Animals wouldn't work. We would be able to talk to the crabs, but not the Chul.
Yeah, the sign did say magic is prohibited for visitors' safety.
I want to know why.
Fair deal. Well,
Ava, do you have nature?
that's okay.
Nature?
Probably go to conversation.
Do you have nature, Ava? Because if you like, you may attempt a nature check to see if you recall any knowledge about Chul.
I learned about Grix.
Yes, he learnt about Grix. He didn't have a chance to learn about Chuls.
Which we can still run into because they went south as well.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
She does.
She does. Okay, if you want to do a nature check, to see if you recall any knowledge about Chuls, go ahead. Because you can see you're perched up on the edge of the tank, looking down into it from up in the air, so you can see what's going on beneath. 16 again. Okay, so the Chul seems to be ordering the crabs to build something in the tank, and you notice that they're dragging bits of dead wood and rocks around, almost as if they're attempting to fortify the inside of the tank and make some sort of fort. It's nowhere near complete, but as you watch them go about their business, you look at the Chul, and you remember a reading of Chul back in your home village during your training of becoming a ranger. And you remember that Chul are not quite sentient, but they are some of the smarter creatures that live at the sea floor, often becoming rulers of lesser creatures, and they are intensely territorial. And the thing you remember most about them, because it sort of is something you identify with, is that they love to collect magic in all of its forms, and that they can innately detect magic.
Ooh, so if I get too close...
Whether this be spells or magic that emanates from an object that someone is holding.
Yeet the wand.
Don't we need that to signal to the other people when we've
Although, did you give it back to
successfully,
Bobbit now that you've
sent the
spoken
magic
to
back
the...
on that?
I have not.
Oh, you've still got it, but that yeah. So,
Oh dear.
well, you've all got magic. You're all holding magic items, is the thing.
Yeah.
Unless you want to drop your
We've
items,
all got magic items.
unless you drop your items, you won't be able to stealth past
No,
or
that's
think
not
of a
gonna happen.
distraction.
How many magic items do we have?
Oh dear.
I think you've got at least one each.
If you guys would like to pass
Yeah,
them to me
at
temporarily, I can wild shape, sneak around as something that's stealthy.
I am
You
not
guys
taking off my armor.
Oh, that's right, your arm's
Oh.
fucking magic.
His armor's magic, both of Ava's
That's okay,
swords
you
are magic,
already said you were
Bobbitt's
riding through-
necklace is magic.
I was gonna say you've already said. I was gonna say Narthal's also already he's riding through the middle of this thing on a rhino, so he's not aiming for stealth. We are,
Alright,
so it doesn't really
I'll
matter if
be
he
the
wants to stealth.
distraction.
very well. Narthal, you charge right into the center of the enclosure. I want everyone to roll for initiative, please.
Yeah.
That's an 8 for gold.
8 for Bulb,
That is a 21 for now.
21 for Narthal,
10 for Bobbit.
8 for Bulb, 10 for Bobbit.
A wild shaped animal would actually give off magic anyway, wouldn't it?
Yes, it would actually. 10 for
Probably.
Bobbit. And what did Ava get? 20 for Ava. Well done. And Veska gets, let's see, 17. Okay. Alright. I'll grab the battle music, just in case, because Narthal's going to rush in. He's going to charge right in and give...
I thought Chul said Cthulhu.
No, yeah, Jewel said Cthulhu, yeah. It
So-
kind of is like a Cthulhu-esque monster, so...
Dale,
Yep.
now seeing what the picture is, I remember ages ago reading it, so I don't remember any details. I'm not metagaming it. But aren't chills like large? So shouldn't that be like a 2x2 square?
Oh, it is, but actually, yeah, 2x2.
I mean, if you're doing it as a
There we go.
1x1,
I was just doing
Fine.
it so that it fit neatly into... But that's okay. Okay.
That is a
Narthal,
big pile
get-
of why are we messing with.
Narthal, you... Well, first of all, everyone... So everyone's going to try to stealth while Narthal runs in. Is that what you're doing?
Alfred, keep an eye on Narfel, see if he needs help.
Alright. So Narthal, you get a surprise round. What would you like to do?
Well, I'm on Bambi's back, so Bambi, charge!
Ah! Which one would you like to charge
Go,
at?
Ramby.
We'll go for crab 3.
Crab 3? Ah! Okay. So would you like to use Ramby's charge attack, or would you like to use your own attack?
And because you're not mounted combatant,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you only get one.
What is
So he's got a +7 to hit on his gore attack, and if he hits, it's 2d8 plus 5, plus an additional 2d8 for charging.
Yeah, let's do that.
Alright, so go ahead, roll and add +7.
And you said +7?
Yep.
That is a 19.
19, and that's a hit on the giant crab, so go ahead, 4d8 damage.
4d8. Oh, okay. Hold on, let me just grab 2 other d8 from here. No, that's not it. Dice. Sorry. Second. Just give me a second. I'm hurrying as fast as I can. Okay, 3d8 right there. 10, 15 plus. It was 4d8, yeah?
4d8, yep.
That's 16.
16 points of damage, not bad. Ramby says, "Yeah, let's do this!" And he grunts and he charges straight into the tank and bashes against the giant crab with his horn, flipping it over. It quickly flips back the right way up, but you notice parts of its outer shall have been pierced by Ramby's horn. Now we get... Yep.
Am I able to plan a reaction?
Well, you now get your normal turns. That was the
that's right. It was
surprise
a
round.
surprise attack.
So now you get your normal attack. Now you get your normal turn, so you can do whatever you want now that you would normally do. You may attack with Ramby again, or you may attack with your own attack, or...
I will cast Shield of Faith on myself.
Lovely, as a bonus action. Okay, you still have a normal action, so what would you like to do?
Shield of Faith is just
Plus-
1 AC, isn't it?
Plus 3 AC.
Oh crap, I didn't take it off from last time, so I'm at 23. Okay, never mind, I don't have to change anything.
Yeah, it's...
Plus
plus 2 AC,
Plus 2.
sorry. Yeah.
Plus 2, so yeah, I'm
Yeah.
up to 23 again.
Okay, you still have your normal action and your move action.
Yep, I will... Yeah, I'll just swing with my normal attack.
Yep, go ahead.
10 plus 19.
19. That's a hit. Roll for damage.
Ugh, 9.
9. That's still better than nothing. You swing with your axe and you shatter the end of one of the crab's claws. Okay, it is Ava's turn. Ava, would you like to...
By the way, Ava, we're not trying to kill them. We're trying to just Well, I don't know what Narthel's doing.
Yeah, well,
but,
you might have to kill some of them if you get in a bad situation. But Ava, you may join the fight, or you may simply attempt to keep moving to the south. So if you guys can get here, I'll allow you to escape the encounter. So you want to keep moving? Okay, Ava, I'd like you to do a stealth check, please, as you fly over. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So Ava will make a stealth check, and then the Chul to 21. Okay, the Chul gets advantage because he can detect magic. And the Chul did not detect you. You are fine. Okay. He seems to be focused on Narthel at the moment.
Hey.
Okay, it is the NPC's turn. So first of all, Giant Crab 3 makes an attack against Narthel. It misses. It makes its second attack. It misses. Then, Giant Crab 2 moves up to the side of Narthel, sitting in a patch of seaweed, as Giant Crab 4 moves up to the other side, and they both make 2 multi-attacks each with advantage as Narthel is flanked.
Motherfuckers.
And both of them hit once.
Oh.
So Narthel takes... 4 points of bludgeoning damage from the first one. And 8 points of bludgeoning damage from the second one. And you must now make a strength save, please.
Oh no, not a strength save. I say that, oh no, that's 20, non-nat 20.
Yep, so they attempt to grapple you in their claws as they strike you. And they are unable to grapple you or knock you off Ramby.
Yeah, maybe don't tempt fate when there's 6 enemies against you, 5 enemies against you at the moment.
The other crabs remain where they are, continuing to gather things within the tank. The Chol knows you're there and takes a step forwards in front of Giant Crab 3. This is why I had it at size 1, so you can see the names on all the tokens.
So it didn't overlap.
Yeah. Moves up towards you, and you are flanked, and the Chul makes 2 multi-attack pincer attacks. It hits you once, and you take 16 points of bludgeoning damage.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
And you must make a strength save, please.
Oh dear. Well, it was nice knowing you.
That is a 15.
A
Oh, wait,
15.
no, sorry. Yeah, 15.
15. So the Chul attempts to grapple you in his big pincers, but you just move out of the way. He then uses his other multi-attack to hit Ramby, and Ramby takes also 16.
Motherfucker.
You must make... no, Ramby manages to stay firm. He doesn't fall over because he passes his strength save, so he's not grappled. You remain astride him. But he's taken a nasty hit, and you see him bleeding, and he grunts in pain. Okay. It is Veska's turn. She steps up to the very edge of the tank, and she casts a magic missile, one at each of the 3 giant crabs in front of you. And she blasts Giant Crab 3. He flips over, burying himself in the sand, and dies. The other 2 each take 4 points of damage. It is Blinky's turn. Bobbit, what would you like Blinky to do? Would you like to tell
I'm
Blinky to
confused.
help
Are we going
him
with stealth? Are we going with stealth, or are we going with fighting these things?
You guys can escape. I'm distracting them.
So you say distract, but the way things are going at the moment, it's more like you're getting your ass kicked.
Hey.
So I'm not.
Shut up.
Oh, fine then.
Oh,
Fuck
it
you,
is.
Bobbit and Blinky. And Bobbit's just gonna tell Blinky. Yeah, Bobbit's just gonna tell Blinky that you're coming with Bobbit, and we're gonna just leave.
Yep, okay, so Blinky will use his turn to move 5, 10, 15, 20, 25.
I was gonna say,
30.
can Bobbit just carry Blinky with her?
Oh, you'd
or...
like to do that? Sure, okay, well...
Yeah,
so
just to try and
Blinky-
make it a little bit easier for both of us to
Wouldn't it
sneak
be
out.
reduced movement speed then? Because how heavy is Blinky?
Oh, he's really tiny.
Blinky
He's the size
can
of a
float.
grapefruit.
So
Blinky
he's
is
the
a
size of a
gaseous
grapefruit and he
form.
levitate.
So...
Yeah,
it's just
he's the
wasn't
size of a
sure.
grapefruit and he floats.
So Blinky...
Oh, he's actually that small.
Yeah. So
Okay,
Blinky,
yep.
knowing he's not moving, is going to make an eye ray attack. So I'd like Bobbit to please roll for that.
Okay, so am I rolling to hit or just rolling to see what we
Just
get?
rolling to see what he gets.
That's a 2 and a 1, sir.
A 2 and a 1. Okay, let's have a look at what Blinky gets there.
Goes to me that I should have probably had that.
Oh,
up.
I've got his stat. I'm just bringing his stats up. So a 1 and a 2, so that is Dazing Ray and Fear Ray. Okay, he shoots a Dazing Ray at Giant Crab number 2, who passes. He shoots a Fear Ray at Giant Crab 4, who fails, and then immediately scuttles over to the east, out of sight of Blinky. Okay, it is now Bobbit's turn.
So Bobbit is just gonna try and quietly sneak around. I have no idea what the blade points thing is. Maybe around this side?
Alright, so
Just while everything's happening over there.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Bringing Blinky with you.
So yeah, Bobbit just scooped up Blinky and just started quietly making her way around it. Actually, if I'm not attacking this turn, can I do like the full like dash movement but
Oh, you
quietly,
want to dash?
like
Alright,
can I-
yep. 5, 10, 15,
Yeah, Bobbit just scoops up Blinky, going,
30.
"Oh, Nathal says he's got this. Sneak
So you
time."
Dash along the side of the tank. I would like you to please make a stealth check.
That's a 16.
16,
This could be a
okay.
problem.
The Chul is going to try to detect magic. And he detects you. He knows you're
Ooh.
there. And
He-
as a free movement, he begins to move. He uses his entire movement to move in your direction. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Okay, Bulb, your turn.
Oh no.
I'm gonna have to go and give
A
Bobbit a
hand.
up in case something goes in case it gets to her.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm just gonna sneak to around here somewhere.
Yep. And
20,
like
25, 30. Yep.
Yep.
And
Yep.
if the Chol comes out there to bob it, would I be able to see it from where I'm standing?
Yes, you would.
Okay, well then I'll stay there. And a stealth check.
No, a stealth check is only required if you pass here.
Okay, well I'll stay there, and I guess I will ready an action.
Yep.
Can I use an attacking spell as a reaction if it's not produced flame?
Yes, you can.
Yeah, I would like to use Ice Knife as a reaction if the Chell
Comes out.
Yeah, if it gets to within 10 feet of Bobbit.
Very well. If it comes out
So,
and goes to the
yeah, so if it gets to like
attack it.
here,
Yep.
I would like to throw.
Alright. Nathul, your turn.
I would like to use my cast a spell, the Armor of Agathis.
Yep, lovely. Armor
Wait.
of Agathis.
Wait,
Yeah,
you get that? I thought that was a warlock only thing.
Paladin.
Conquest Paladins get it.
Oh.
Okay,
I
so...
gain five
Yep.
temporary hit points, and
Yep, and
each
if a
time
creature hits you,
attacks
takes
me,
5 cold damage. Lovely.
and
So
it lasts for an hour.
it does, so that's your action. So you're just
So
gonna
just
hold the line. Lovely.
I'm going to attack as well.
That was... Armor of Agathis was your action.
Yeah.
I
It's
thought
not
it
a...
was just cut.
No, it's not a bonus action. It's casting time. It's one action.
Mm-hmm.
Oh shit!
Yep.
Well, then I'll use the bonus action then.
What?
Isn't Cure Wounds a bonus action?
No,
No,
that's also one action.
Healing Word is the bonus action.
Yeah, healing word's a
That's
bonus
right,
action. Do you have
that's
healing
right,
word?
healing word. No, I don't. I just have
Ah.
cure. Wait,
Well-
wait. A healing touch.
Healing touch. Would you like? You can lay on hands to heal yourself.
Lay
as
on
an action
hands.
if you
That's
like.
it. Lay on
That
hands.
can be done as a bonus action.
Yes, I'd like
Okay.
to touch myself.
Yep, and you may heal your paladin level times 5 in hit points.
Okay. Do I need to roll for it?
No, you just choose how many hit points you want to heal. That's how many you have in your pool, and you just choose how many you want to spend.
How many hit? My hit dice.
Your paladin level times 5, so it'll be 20 HP. So you have 20 HP in your pool, and you can choose how many you want to spend each time you lay on hands.
So I could pretty much just go max health right now.
Yeah.
If I wanted.
Yeah, if you
I
want to.
think I will do that.
So,
Well,
how many will you spend?
I'll spend all my
20?
points for lay
Yep,
on hands.
okay, so now you have 0 left until your next long rest, so you're back to full health. You're just gonna stay here with your Armor of Agathis and hold
Yep.
the line. Ava, your turn.
Ava should have been moved further.
Yeah, well, I moved her 30. What's her flying speed?
50.
So yeah. So here. There we go. What would Ava like to do now?
I don't want Bobbit to die.
I've got Bobbit.
To be fair, Bobbit is just planning on just sprinting away from this thing.
Yeah.
Just a sec. Where's the pointer thing?
It's
On
on the right. On the right next to the tokens. It's the second from bottom.
This thing?
the pointer tool.
Yeah, that's it.
Yes.
Okay. Sorry.
That's okay. So what would you like to do?
I want to move along the edge.
Yep. Flying or running?
Flying.
Yep. Towards the south so you can escape, or towards Bobbit?
Towards Bobbit.
Alright, so
So sort of skirting around.
10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. So the Chul will now attempt to detect you. And he detects you, he knows you're there, but he's choosing not to move towards you. And he barks out one of his orders in his language to inform the crabs of your location.
Do I recognize that
Is
language?
it Choltian?
No, it's not Choltian. It's just it's like some weird ocean language. Just sounds like clicking and bubbling. So, would you like to take an action? Would you like to cast a spell or attack anything? The crabs and the Chul all know you're here now.
No.
Alright.
I will ready an action to...
Yep, what would you like to do?
To smack a bitch if they
come close? Yep, with your sword or with your bow?
Oh.
This is...
With my bow and the arrows of...
Walloping, yes. Alright. So it is the NPC's turn. Giant crab number 1 begins to scuttle towards Ava. As it does, she uses her reaction to fire at it. You may go ahead and fire with your arrows of walloping at this giant crab.
Alright. A D8.
Well, D20 to see if you hit it first.
Oh, yeah. I'm smart. I got 16.
16, that's a hit. Roll your damage now.
6.
Okay, the giant crab must now make a strength save. He fails, and your arrow blasts him, knocking him prone. As he lies on his back, he flails his pincers around blindly, attempting a multi-attack with disadvantage. And he rolls and unfortunately is unable to hit you with either of his multi-attacks. Giant crab number 4 is scared, so it jumps out of the enclosure and hides behind the fence, so it can't see Blinky. Giant crab number 5 moves up to Narthal, and then it makes 2 multi-attacks with advantage. It nat 20s on one and misses with the other.
You motherfucker.
Narthal, you take 18 points of bludgeoning damage, and you must make a strength save.
Now, these crabs ain't messing around.
That is an 18.
18. It tries to grab you in its pincers, but you break free. The other crab makes 2 multi-attacks with advantage against Ramby, and hits with both.
Motherfucker!
Ramby takes 13 points of damage. He must make a strength save. Ramby fails, and he is grappled. And Narthal, you are thrown off him 5 feet away, and you take 1 point of damage as you fall off Ramby. And I'm just going to put Ramby... I'm just going to put Ramby on the map here so you know that this is where he is. And... okay. Yep.
The crab has to take 5 cold damage.
It does. The crab does take 5 cold damage from you. And it doesn't seem to like this. You find it's going... trying its hardest to crawl away from you. Veska notices this and she fires a ray of frost at it, hitting it for 8 damage. Little icicles begin to drip off its carapace. The Chul comes out and rushes towards Bobbit. Bold, you may make your ranged spell attack on it.
Yeah. Knife will not hit Bobbit.
Yep, it's coming here. As it comes here, you may make your ranged spell attack. As it comes out of the enclosure and runs towards Bobbit.
What's my new spell attack bonus? It is +6. That's a 19.
19. That is a hit on the Chul. Go ahead and roll your damage.
Just got to get Ice Knife up again because I accidentally closed it while I was looking up something else. Okay, so that is 1d... 10 piercing damage for the initial
Yep.
hit,
The ice
which
knife.
is a 10.
You fling the ice knife through the air, and as the tool comes running towards Bobbit, it hits it right under its neck, embedding into the carapace.
This is that was piercing damage. It's not ice.
Yep, it's just piercing.
Yeah, not cold. Sorry. And then it takes. So that was 10.
Yep.
And then 2d6 of cold damage
Ooh, okay, so go ahead and roll that.
is 9.
Mess them up.
9. You hear it grunt as the ice knife beds deeper into the carapace, but it continues
Oh,
running.
sorry.
Yep.
It needed to make a dexterity saving throw. I didn't know if you did that or not.
Ah, yep. What's the DC?
My new DC is 14.
Okay. And that's a 3, so what happens?
No, so yeah, it takes the full damage, not half
Yep,
damage.
takes the full damage, okay. It continues running towards Bobbit, makes 2 multi-attacks with its pincers. The first one is a 15, so it's a miss. The second one is
Put that shield.
the second one is a nat 20.
Oh,
And oh,
No!
Remy, I figured something else that you could do next time. Did you know you can actually roll in the 5e tools DM screen? You just click on the attack and it will roll it for you. That's what I'm
Really?
doing. Yeah, and the damage as well.
Ah.
This is going to hurt.
Shift to roll
Yeah,
a
it's
critical.
gonna
You take 8. You take 36 points of bludgeoning damage because he rolled his maximum. He rolled his maximum on that. I just had to work out what it was doubled.
Oh.
And you must make a
Hit.
36, and you must make a strength save, please.
It's an 8 for strength.
It
Oh,
grapples
no.
you in its large claw, and as it lifts you up, a small tentacle shoots out from underneath its fleshy arm, striking you and poisoning you. You are now poisoned for 1 minute.
Oh.
You must
Oh.
make a DC 13 Constitution save, please.
Oh dear.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, it's poison, is it?
Yeah.
So is it Constitution?
Yep.
What we got? Oh dear, that's... Nope, that's only an 11.
Okay. As the poison is injected from the tentacle into your body, you are paralyzed, and the chool just tosses you down onto the cobblestone. You're paralyzed for 1 minute or until you can pass the saving throw. Okay, it is now Bobbit's turn. Bobbit, make a Constitution save.
Nope, fail.
Fail. Okay, you are still paralyzed. Bulb, your turn.
Wait, wasn't Blinky supposed to get a turn
Oh yeah,
at some
Blinky
point?
gets a turn, and Blinky fires his eye rays. Please roll for them, Bobbit.
Protect me, Blinky! 2, and the 1 and a 2.
1 and a 2, okay, so dazing and fear, and the chool is charmed. But it passes the fear ray, but it succumbs to dazing ray, and
Would
it
have
is
been really
charmed.
useful like about 2 seconds ago,
Yep.
because it would have had disadvantage on its bloody attack rolls.
Bulb, it is your turn.
Oh well.
So this creature is not currently holding.
It's not.
Bobbit?
As soon as it paralyzed
No.
Bobbit, it threw it, then discarded her on the ground.
Okay. I am going to cast Moon Beam,
Yep.
but as I'm casting it, I'm talking in Primordial.
Ooh, okay. Yep.
Do you understand me?
Let me check. The chool just roars and brandishes its pincers. It cannot comprehend what you are saying.
Right, okay, I cast Moonbeam at it then.
Yep, go ahead.
So it needs to make a Constitution saving throw.
Yep. We shall roll that now. It rolled a 15.
My DC is 14, I believe, so it's saved, but it takes half damage, so that's 2d10s. Please roll max. That's 8 altogether, so that's 4 radiant damage.
4 radiant damage. Not bad. Okay.
And then, as a bonus action, I would like to cast Healing Word.
Yep.
On Bobbit as at a first level. Healing Word is 1d4 plus my spellcasting ability modifier, so that is. You got lucky. That is 8 health.
Lovely.
Hey.
And that's all my turns.
Okay,
all my actions.
It is Narthal's turn again. What would you like to do, Narthal?
Wail on Crab 5. They've
Crab
already
5.
took the cold damage.
Yep, go ahead. Roll to hit him.
Fuck you, Crab. Nat 20.
Ooh.
Fuck you in
roll
the
and
ass.
double.
4 and 6. 12 plus. What's my strength modifier again? Plus 4. No, that's the wrong one. That's the wrong one. 12 plus 5. So, 18 plus 18. 36.
36. You swing your axe, and with a sickening crunch, you turn this crab into seafood.
And now I get another attack.
Yes, you do,
'Cause I-
because you're
'cause I
Great
got a
Weapon
nat.
Master. So go, and you also killed, so you actually get 2 more
I'm sorry,
attacks.
what? Does it work like that?
Yeah, it says you get an extra attack every time you're attacked by the crits, or reduces an enemy to 0 HP. So
It says or, then it's only one.
or yeah. Okay, so you only get
I was
one.
gonna
Yeah,
say that would
sorry,
be a little
yeah.
too OP.
So go
Yeah.
ahead and attack Giant Crab number 2.
Alright, that is a non-nat 20.
That's a hit. Roll for damage.
God damn it, mess, not working. 6.
What's your roll?
17.
17, a good hit. And at the end of your turn, Ramby uses half his movement to stop being thrown, and then he uses a gore attack on Giant Crab number 2. And he rolls a 20. He rolls a 21 to hit, and then deals 21 points of damage.
Oh.
Wow. Crushing Giant Crab 2 under his feet, trampling its carcass into the dirt.
Good job, buddy.
Okay, it is Ava's turn.
I was having a disaster. Is my mic and everything working?
It's
Yes.
working.
We can
Okay.
Yes.
That's good. Do I need to engage with this?
You don't need to
Peasant.
engage with this crab. No, you can attempt to move past it and go help Bobbit if you want.
Yeah, I prefer to do that.
You could use a bonus action to cast Zephyr Strike.
That's true. I'll do that.
Alright, so you cast Zephyr Strike, move away from Giant Crab 1, he flails at you with his claws, but they reach only
I'm just
air.
imagining Kingler
Yeah, going...
with the bubbles.
And then you fly over to the Chul, flanking... Well, actually, it's not flanked because Bobbit's paralyzed, so... But you may attack it normally. Go ahead.
Can I just pick up Bobbit and fly away?
Oh, would you like to do that? You can if you
If
want.
I can.
Yeah. You lift Bobbit and Blinky up.
It's not like I'm in a position to resist here.
And where would you like to take them
Please take
to?
me away from this bad place.
What's the movement speed of the...
Zephyr Strike doubles your speed, doesn't it?
Yeah, I meant of the Chult.
Of the Chul has a
Chul.
movement speed of 30.
I want to go far away enough. Can't go anywhere.
So you like grab Bobbit and just head for the south for God's.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, pretty
Grab
much.
For the
Bobbit,
exit.
then you go
Yeah.
5,
He's
10,
like grab
50,
Bobbit and all you hear
20,
from Bobbit's just this.
40,
Poor
45.
Bobbit.
Just this murmured
50.
yay.
So you are all here now.
Okay.
Would you
With
like
Blinky,
to?
yeah.
Would you like to make an attack
Yeah.
action to fire your arrow at the tool?
No.
Don't want to attract it to you. That's fine. Okay. It is
Don't.
the NPC's turn. The tool rushes towards
Just-
Bulb.
Oh no.
Oh, no, it has to make a Constitution save because it started its turn in
Yep.
the Moonbeam.
And it rolled a 19, so it takes half.
Oh.
Oh, so half. Okay, so I'm rolling again.
Like anime style, it's just like
better.
firing this beam at it, and it's just tanking it and just marching towards you despite you firing this
Yep,
thing
running
at it.
towards Bulb.
Was
Where are your
13, so
frickin' wings, Bulb?
I have to be very precise when I use them. So that was a 13, so that's 6 damage.
13, okay. It's looking quite hurt, but it's still barreling towards you as fast as it can, just babbling as it runs towards you. It makes 2 multi-attacks. The first one rolls a 19, so it hits you.
Hits.
The second one is a nat 20.
Oh,
No, no, it's not.
So first,
Using 5e to fucking roll.
so Bulb, I would like you to roll a D100, please, to see if your amulet of armor breaks.
Oh no!
No.
This is all bad because I barely survived that, and I'm pretty sure I had more health than he does.
Am I gonna have to go pick up Bulb too?
D6.
Yeah, probably.
96, your amulet does not break. It is fine. Okay. So the first attack deals 9
Please do less than me. Please
9 points of bludgeoning damage to you.
It's the non-crit.
That's the non-crit. And you must make a
Oh,
strength
God.
save. Oh, yeah, you
Oh,
must,
guys.
you must make a strength save.
10.
10, okay. So you are now grappled. The damage from the second attack comes in. And it is 18 points of bludgeoning damage.
I feel luck.
It grapples you in
Remind
its
me again why we
claws,
came this way.
and the tentacle comes out, embedding itself into your flesh. Make a con save, please.
I think this is considered
Well,
like
the other way was,
lesser of the 3 choices.
We could have gone with the basilisk.
No, we couldn't. That thing could have
Manticore.
killed all of
Was
us.
it the Basilisk or the Manticore?
What was the mantle?
No, basilisks
the
are out there.
basilisks were out there in that general area.
Yeah. That was
So, yeah,
another-
all of that's bad.
Yep.
Oh,
So you are now paralyzed for 1 minute. The Thul lets you go and just tosses you carelessly onto the cobblestone like a toy.
Oh, Beam is concentration, and that definitely would have.
Yeah.
What were the rolls?
That he rolled to of the damage. So the
Yeah.
first one was
So what would the concentrations be?
so the 9, so that would just be 10, and then the second
Yep.
one would be so they'd both be 10.
Oh yeah, one was a fucking nat 1. So yeah, I would have saved the second time, but the first one I failed.
Yeah.
So Moonbeam just
Yep.
sputters out.
Veska shouts out, "Bulb!" And she runs over, and standing right here, she casts Thunder Wave, so it will only hit the Chul.
hey.
Using her last level 2 spell slot, although she will get another one when she has a short rest. She blasts out a wave of thunderous energy. The Chul makes a dex save. He fails, and he takes 12 points of damage. Giant Crab number 1 moves up to Ramby the Rhino and makes a multi-attack. He hits with both and grabs Ramby's neck in his claw and presses, crunching
No.
down, and then you hear a spitting snap. As Ramby's head is ripped off.
Oh, great. Now we're going on top of the seafood, now we're going to have to explain how the rhino got into the bloody
Giant
aquarium
Crab
and died.
4, no longer being able to see Blinky, rushes up towards Narthel and makes a multi-attack. Only one of them hits. And that is for Narthel 3 points of bludgeoning damage. And Narthel, you must make a strength save to avoid being grappled.
That is a 18.
18. Yep, you're fine. It is now Bobbitt's turn. Bobbit.
He has to take 5 points.
Oh yeah,
damage.
he takes 5 points of cold damage. Lovely.
Wait, no. Have you already taken damage from the armor already?
The spell lasts for an hour.
Yes, but it also once the temporary hit point, it lasts for an hour until the temporary hit points are gone.
Yeah,
so
but
if you've already used it,
No,
if
he
it's already
didn't-
knocked it off, that should be gone.
He didn't actually lose the. He didn't actually lose the temporary hit points yet.
Because he still has the.
Yeah, so he.
Okay.
Yeah, they take cold
Fair
damage.
enough.
so
Well,
it's
it should
fine.
probably be
doesn't
gone now, but
say-
that's 5,
it
so he
doesn't
only has
say-
5.
It doesn't say anything about losing it.
Yeah, well, it would own.
Good.
Actually, let me check. I'll have to check into that.
I'm gonna check, 'cause I haven't-
Yeah, I'll check
Manifesting
into that
seconds.
later. I'll check into that later. We'll just say for the moment it is still in effect. Okay, because he still has the temporary hit points anyway. I think he's got like 1 left. It is now Bobbitt's turn. Bobbit, you may make a Constitution save.
Okay, Bobbit, come on, give me something nice to look at. Nope, that's a 3.
Okay,
Bobbit's
you're still
still just
paralyzed.
in Ava's clutches, just a limp noodle.
However, it is still Blinky can still move, so Blinky moves up and he makes an eye ray attack against the Chul. Go ahead and roll for him.
Blinky, why?
2 and a 3, because Blinky wants to save me. That's
He
a
does.
Fear Ray and a Frost Ray.
Okay, the Fear Ray did not work, but the Frost Ray, he
Of course
failed
not.
his save and took 10 points of cold damage. Good job,
Oof.
Blinky.
Alright.
The Chul is looking quite beaten up now. It is Bulb's turn. Bulb, you must make a Constitution save.
That is an 11.
11. You recover from your paralysis, and you may take your turn.
Wasn't expecting to take my turn. Whack it with my quarterstaff and then use a bonus action to disengage and run like a bitch.
Alright, go ahead, roll to hit.
That is 11 plus 4, so that's 15.
15. That is unfortunately not a hit as your
Okay.
staff glances off its carapace. You will now
Well, then
disengage.
I
Where would you like
Disengage to here and then bitch out.
Yep, as fast as you could go. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40.
No, I only have 30.
Yep. Okay. It's Narthel's turn.
You right, Dale?
Yeah, I'm alright. Just got a bit of a cough today.
I'll be right back. I'm getting a drink.
I will wail on crab number 4.
Crab number 4. Go ahead, roll to hit.
Plus mine 21.
21, that's a hit. Roll for damage.
15.
15. Smash! You break one of his pincers. He rears away. Burying him, trying to hide in amongst the sand. It is Ava's turn
Ava is gonna take Bobbit
to the escape point.
to the escape point.
Alright. So Ava and Bobbit,
Yeah, it's very quiet.
you escape from the encounter.
I'm guessing Blinky's gonna Blinky's gonna be behind
Yep.
me after this.
That Blinky's heading off to. It is now Vesca's turn. Actually, it's the Chul's turn first. It walks up to Vesca and hits her with
I
both.
feel like it would be Vesca's turn because.
Oh yeah, she
has
knows
a
it's
weapon,
there.
I guess.
Yeah. She's going to attempt to hit it with a. Actually, she's going to cast Minor Illusion and
Oh,
create an illusion of Ava flying in the enclosure. And the Chul is going to attempt an intelligence check to determine if it's fate, which he failed. So he runs away from Veska and goes into the enclosure. It is Bulb's turn.
He's just gonna drink.
Yep, that's right. Yeah, he doesn't have enough movement.
I hope everyone's having fun today.
Yep,
I saved Bobbit.
you saved Bobbit.
And Blinky.
Yay! Yay! Yay!
Hey!
Why do you sound so sad?
It's still paralyzed and just can't do anything.
And while we're waiting for Bulb, Giant
careful,
Crab...
buddy.
while we're waiting for Bulb, Giant Crab 1 moves in, flanking Narthal. And then both it and Giant Crab 4 make 2 multi-attacks each with advantage. And the only one that hits is from Giant Crab 4, and it's a nat 20.
You fucking bitch.
So Bulb,
Yep.
you take... Narthal, you take 18 points of bludgeoning damage. And you must make a strength save.
Okay.
Also, Bulb is back.
Yep, it's about to be
How
Bulb.
much was
Can't
it?
lift Narthal.
Yay.
18 points, and you may make a strength
Oh.
save. The DC is 12 to avoid being grappled by the crabs.
Do you see that is another 15?
Yep, you are fine. They have not been able to grapple
And
you.
that was the last temporary hit point. Does he still
Yep,
take gold
he
damage?
still
from that?
takes cold damage, and then the armor wears off. So,
Yep.
so altogether, once the temporary hit points out of the way, that's 17 points you're down. So it's now Bulb's turn.
Still not bad.
I thought he was back.
No, I'm back.
No.
Ah, he's back. Bulb, your turn.
Do you say he came back? Huh.
Yeah, I'm
Your
just
turn. Run.
trying to think. Yeah, I'm just trying to think if I need to heal myself before I run, because I don't know if these are going to come at me, but movement speed, they shouldn't be able to. I'll go over here.
He's looking quite beaten up, I must say.
He does.
Yeah, the Chul is. He's looking quite hurt.
And he's distracted.
Yeah, he's distracted by Veska's minor image, at least for another turn.
Okay. What level 1 spells do I have that might hurt him a bit more? Nothing really. Because you said animal friendship doesn't work on
Yeah,
him,
no, because
did you?
he's a monstrosity. Well, he's an aberration, so...
Yeah. Actually... No, he's already distracted for one more turn. I'm going to run 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60. I'm going to run to here using my bonus action.
Yep.
And yeah, I'm not going to use
Yep.
anything for my action. I'm just going to stay there.
You sprint around the enclosure, pressing up against the wall, hiding from the Chul. It is Narthal's turn.
Should really spend my action healing. Well, that's a bit unfortunate. I'll have to cast Cure Wounds myself.
Alright.
And then
sure.
I would suggest that you should disengage and run the fuck away.
What do I roll for Cure Wounds?
Cure Wounds is... Let me check. Cure Wounds. It is 1d8 plus your Wisdom mod. Well, plus your Charisma mod, because you're a Paladin.
Oh yeah, that's right. Charisma mod.
So it's going to be 1d8 plus your Charisma.
9.
9. Better than nothing. And then
19... No. Crap. 9 plus 5. Up to 14.
And then you use your bonus action to disengage.
No.
Oh, okay. Sure, you're just going to stay here and let the crabs try to hit you?
Yep.
Alright. It is
Really?
the crab's turn. They all make multi-attacks with disadvantage. With advantage, one of them hits, and you take 3 points of bludgeoning damage, and you must make a strength save.
It's 21.
21. You're fine. It tries to grab you with its smashed pincer, but it can't reach you. Veska moves up to the side of the enclosure, and she casts Ray of Frost on the Chul. She hits him for 6 points of damage, reducing his movement speed. The Chul makes an attempt to see through the minor illusion, which it passes this time, and then it slowly tries to make its way towards Narthel, but it doesn't have enough movement speed, as it slowly walks, icicles dripping off its carapace. Bulb, your turn.
Would like to... Oh, see, stop it. I would like to use my bonus action to dash. How many hit points are you on, Narthel?
13?
You will get a short rest after this fight.
No, 11.
You will get a short rest after this fight before next session.
Yeah, but I'm trying to get him to survive the fight.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to, just leave.
Well, you do know that the Chul seems to be the leader of these crabs, so
Is the
Go to the
Chul
Chul.
now no longer... The Chul is no longer distracted, is it? It's
No,
after Narthel.
it's after Narthel now. It can't move very far because Veska's Ray of Frost has slowed it down.
I'm gonna run to here.
Yep.
Use my action to cast Dissonant Whispers,
Yep.
Hell is
which
that?
I get because of my new feature. When it loads, you whisper a discordant melody that only a creature of your choice within range can hear, racking it with terrible pain. Is it within 60 feet of me?
It sure is.
60, yes. It must make a wisdom saving throw. On a failed save, it takes 3d6 psychic damage and must immediately use its reaction, if available, to move as far as its speed will allow away from me. Which
Ooh,
puts
yes.
Veska in a bit of trouble,
But-
Oh, pardon me.
So the Chul
shaking
is
of
making
damage
his
point.
wisdom
Probably
save.
has ways to get
He
out.
only rolled a 10 on his wisdom save. So
Yes. So
failed.
that's 3d6.
Yep.
Bless you.
Sorry.
Bless you, kitty. That was a decent roll.
Yeah.
It's a 11 damage.
Okay,
11.
okay, I do
And
have to
as-
laugh. Just
Yep.
sorry.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say like dissonant whispers and just the description of the spell. All I've got in my head is bloody careless whisper by Wham. Yeah, you tell whispering and all whistling and all of us thinking here is just.
As the dissonant whispers emanate from Bulb and fill the enclosure, the Chul is blasted with psychic energy. It raises its pincers to what would be its ears on the sides of its heads and begins shrieking. And then it falls over backwards, dead.
Yay!
Noticing that their leader has died, the two giant crabs that are left freak out and begin to dart away
Lock it
from
into submission?
Narthel. Narthel, would you like to let them submit, or would you like to get an attack of opportunity on one of them and try to just crush one of them?
Yeah, I'm gonna smote crab fall into the ground.
Alright, crab number 1 buries himself in the sand, but crab 4, you try to hit him
I'm
as he
go-
scurries away.
I'm gonna use my benefit of Great Weapon Master.
Yep,
Suffer a penalty of -5 to the attack roll. If it hits, add 10 damage.
yes, so go ahead and roll to hit.
Alright, so I'll be only rolling with a +4 now. And that is 15.
15, that's a hit, roll for damage.
Hey.
For a kill.
Stop it.
18 plus 23.
23, and as the crab desperately tries to scurry away, you bring down your axe, and with a crush, reduce him to seafood, just like the others.
I'd like to say it's a shame Ava has already left the area, because I was going to say that Jewel probably is considered very rare amongst hunters and whatnot. It'd be really
Gonna
easy
say, can I
take
use
part-
non-lethal
take
damage
part.
on it?
Well, not with your spell. Spells
No.
can't do
Not with
non-lethal
spells?
damage.
Damn.
Harvest what?
Is Ramby like fully decapitated? Or
Yeah,
is he, like...
it ripped
shit.
his head half off his
Oh,
body.
motherfucker.
Yeah,
And
he's dead.
so,
Dead.
combat is
Bob-
over. You were
Bob would
able-
like to check the corpse of the Chul. May
Oh,
as well. Waste not, want not.
Yeah, I was
Yep.
gonna do the same
Might as
thing.
well. I think it's going to be
Like-
worth a bit.
I'd like Bulb to make a nature check, please.
Meanwhile, outside the stadium, while the winning music, victory music is playing, you just get Bobby going. Yay!
That is a non-natural 20.
Non-natural 20? Okay, so most of its carapace is damaged, and as the Chul is dead, it's actually starting to decompose before your eyes. But its tentacles are intact, and with them the poison. And so, if you were to collect this, it would give advantage to Ava next time she attempts to make a poison.
Do I make poisons? I do.
Does Ava make poison? No. Oh, does Ava make
Well,
poisons?
you can with your herbalism kit. It can make basic poisons.
Ah.
Yeah.
I have herbalism as well, so I might as well take it.
Or you could sell it. It's entirely up to you. But
We'll
Yeah, I'll-
probably,
It's
we'll
I'll take
probably
the-
make poisons.
worth a pretty penny.
you
Definitely be worth a pretty penny.
yeah, you extract the tentacle of paralyzing poison and actually make a herbalism kit check right now, please.
Too bad we fucked up the zoo exhibit.
yeah,
what do I
Ava
add to a herbalism kit? Just the plus
just
2?
just your proficiency. Yeah, Ava can assist you.
Ah.
You can do it with advantage.
That's just good.
Because I assume Ava, you'd want to assist him with it.
Well, everyone's dead now, so it's fine. I'll come back in.
Yeah.
15.
Bo's just gonna keep lying on the floor until everyone
I was
comes
just
back.
trying to save the small child.
Yeah,
And
okay.
Bob thanks you. Bo's still unconscious, just lying on the ground outside. Probably been a
Okay.
minute by now.
You managed to refine the Chul's venom down into a vial of poison that
Oh,
you...
no, I want to keep the tentacle.
yeah, you can keep the... Oh, so you don't want to extract the poison?
No, I want the tentacle.
Okay, alright, well, yeah, don't worry about the
Sorry.
herbalism.
Why do you want the tentacle?
Because
Well-
Bob has plans.
I assumed,
Let him go.
I assumed you wanted to extract the paralyzing poison, so...
No, sorry, I will
no, that's
keep
fine.
a
You
jewel
keep the
tentacle
tentacle?
for now, sorry.
Okay, and with that...
Okay.
Having-
what
Yep.
were the crabs gathering?
They were just gathering all the
Yeah.
furniture. Basically, you've determined that with the water having suddenly drained out of the tank when the wards went down, that the Chul essentially knew it was trying to protect itself from other animals, and so it was ordering the crabs to gather bits of wood and rocks and
Kill
basically
crabs.
build walls around the tank with it.
It wasn't even doing anything wrong.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was going to say if it hadn't attacked us, it would have been fine.
Yeah, but it
Well,
did attack.
It didn't attack us.
And
Well,
so,
I mean, if Nathal hadn't run into the middle of it,
yeah, you
That's what I
probably
was
would have
saying.
been fine. And so,
Can I harvest the crab?
carapaces,
Yeah.
I'd like you
get
to
all
make.
the chitin.
I'd like you to make a dexterity check, please. To see how much of it you
course
can
you-
extract
That's a nat
safely.
20.
Okay, you may obtain 1d6 pieces of crab carapace.
Oh, I need 3.
Oh, well, one from each crab.
Oh, yeah,
One
yeah,
crab
yeah,
got
yeah.
away. That's fine. So you can
Crab.
either sell those or they can be applied as an upgrade to something later. But for now,
How do you spell carapace?
Carapace. So Cara
Thank you.
Pace. Yep.
Thank you.
Now
Can I
that.
just eat some crab meat?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Delicious
Ava just
crab
take the
meat.
crab meat, and Ava, you may recover 1
Yes.
HP for eating the crab
Time to
meat.
get some crab dinner.
Thanks. How
And
much HP did you say I lost earlier? Because I didn't
what-
lose any then.
1 from being hit by a rock, so that's fine.
Okay,
So
so
you
I'm back
recover
at
that.
full.
Yep. So, with that, we've come to the end of today's session, as you have made your way fully into the zoo, got through all of the animal enclosures, only provoking one fight and managing to get through with a minimum of casualties on the part of the zoo's animals. And as you see the large triangular-shaped building that is the visitor's center looming before you, pressed up against the southern wall of the zoo, you have a feeling that the mission given to you by the Lord's Alliance and the Emerald Enclave has only just begun. You may have a short rest.
Oh, lovely. I'm going to need it to get back almost all of my health.
You may have a short rest, and next week we will venture into the Zoo Visitor Center, which is a mini little dungeon.
Lovely.
15.
D8s.
15.
Do we want to say goodbye to the chat before we start just muttering numbers to ourselves?
Probably yes.
Sorry, I'm not with it today. I'm coming down with a cough or something.
Hey, welcome to my world.
Thank you everyone for joining us here in chat. My original anticipation was that this zoo mission would be done in one session, but I did not account for all the role-playing that would be done with talking to the animals. So,
hey, worth it.
Yeah, so it is perfectly fine. Plus, we did have all the downtime stuff from last week to get through. So, next week, we will press on into the visitor center and see if our heroes can restore the magical wards of the zoo. And so,
bye everybody.
With that,
bye.
We thank you for joining us today, and we hope you will join us again next week for the next exciting adventure. Goodbye. Yep, go ahead, Liam.
We also would like to thank Kitty for being our Patreon supporter. Our only
yes,
one so far, but
thank you, Kitty.
As per the rewards at the end of every episode, we are thanking each Patreon supporter.
Yes, so we do have to thank.
That's awkward. Sorry, just thanking me.
You, Kitty.
Thank you, Kitty.
It's a good start.
But no, thank
I feel appreciated for once. That's awesome.
Thank Kitty for coming and joining in for the last bit of the session, even though she wasn't feeling quite up to it today.
And a big thank you to M1 for joining.
Yeah, as always.
But we hope to see you all next week for the next adventure. Until then, don't feed the animals. Bye-bye, everyone.
Fuck animals.